Hello everyone and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/finalshowfilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/finalshowfilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/ffilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat, Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day. Hello everybody and welcome back to Ravnica, Rubblebelt, Scrappers, as I remember to move the camera around to the correct place. No, those cameras are fine. I just forgot to put
the DM's camera's okay.
It's the DM's camera is the one that was off because I'm using a DM screen that is not the monitor. So I have to adjust. Anyways, sorry we're a little late getting up, but our computer decided it didn't like the microphones.
There's a lot of things our computer doesn't like.
Anyways, I think, yeah, we're audible. I might need to adjust a little bit of this, because it's really hard to tell how audible we are with XSplit, because XSplit, so, a fun little behind the scenes for people watching, XSplit typically, like things like OBS, will actually have a decibel meter on the microphone so that you can see exactly how loud you are. XSplit just has like a increasing volume stack of dominoes for your volume meter, and then a very thin, small red line underneath it that bounces up and down. That tells you absolutely nothing about how loud you actually are.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's scaled off of, but it sucks.
Yeah. So I'm basically having to judge based on whether or not I can see it, and what I'm seeing over here is how loud we are.
So please, if we're being too loud, too quiet, or too orange, let us know in the comments.
Yep. Anyways, so when last we left off, this group of scrappers had found a old abandoned Simic laboratory in one of the runoff ravines from a water treatment plant that their clan had previously annihilated, and are in the process of being sent out to scout a clear path for the clan to meet up with the rest of the Gruul clans at the whatever the in-universe term for a moot is, because it's a moot, but they use a different word.
A Skarg.
Skarg, that's it. To meet up for a Skarg.
At Skarg. It's what it's called. It's why it's called that.
At Skarg. And this particular group of scrappers are one of 3 different groups that were sent out to look at stuff. So, let's go ahead and introduce our scrappers to the audience, starting with William.
Hi, I'm William. I'm playing Shiny Dragonhearts, the Dwarven Monk.
And
the very, very lost Dwarven Monk.
Quite lost.
Lost by one plane. And Holly.
I'm playing Ari. She is a centaur druid.
And Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin, and I'm playing Kovar, the centaur rogue. Yes, I'm a rogue.
You're a strength-based rogue.
I'm a scout.
Yeah. You could say centaur scout. And Rudy?
Hey, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Garrus, the Minotaur Barbarian.
And Zach?
Hey, I'm Zach. And I'm playing Razgun, the Goblin Wizard.
And missing from last week, but here this week, Stan.
Hey. Hi, I'm playing Preston, the Centaur Ranger.
Our 3rd centaur, who has been here the whole time.
However, you just didn't see me.
Yeah.
I'm more of a rogue than he is.
Yeah.
You've been Preston's been sort of standing in the back, just watching everyone flip tables and shit. So why don't you go ahead and describe what Preston looks like?
What does he look like? Dark hair, dark eyes, horse butt and all that.
Real specific.
That's a great description.
I mean, dark-haired centaur.
Oh, the funny thing is, I don't think I weigh this much. About 6'8", like real, type of kind of muscular male, human looking, with fairly tanned.
At least where the human part is, at least.
Yeah.
No, the horse is shockingly human looking.
The horse is human looking too.
No, he said a horse butt. Everything else just looks very human
It's
on
just
the horse.
human and then like more torso where there should be horse butt and arms instead of horse legs.
Yeah, right.
That's the man. It's the mantar.
It's a terrifying image.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
fine,
dark
terrifying.
brown hair, brown eyes, and just they look. Oh, wearing scale mail, just for the hell of it, and always carrying a bow in his left hand. Almost always having a bow in his left hand.
All right. So you are all currently on top of the ravine, looking down into.
There's apparently a pro wrestler called the Mantar.
Yes, there is. There's a pro wrestler called Mantar. Was a pro wrestler called Mantar, who came to the ring with a Minotaur outfit on. All right, or Minotaur head.
I mean, sometimes people make bad life choices, yes.
It wasn't his choice.
That was creative and.
Oh, I didn't say he made the bad life choice.
Hey, you know what? Having a Minotaur face on your head is never a bad life choice.
It beats working at McDonald's. Let's put it that way.
I mean, he didn't get paid that much.
Yeah, well,
There we go. That's the picture of his character.
Yeah, the man.
What?
Found a picture of the Mantar. Yeah.
Oh, is it just?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yes.
that's the Mantar picture I was
Is it
referencing.
just
Yes.
a bull head? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh,
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes. So that's the Mantar I was referencing.
yeah, that's cool.
It's
Um,
everything
I'll
I
try
hoped
anything
it wouldn't
twice.
be.
Anyways,
No, that'd be
Sir-
Simic.
go to Google, search Tumblr Mantar, and I apologize for your search history. Anyways,
No, you don't.
I mean, I don't.
It's not a sincere apology,
It's not
okay?
a sincere apology. What do I look like, Canadian? Anyways. Anyways, you are all currently standing atop the one of the sides of the drainage ravine, the northern side of the drainage ravine, because the drainage ravine goes due east.
Just keep see. Oh, beautiful. All right.
I didn't even do it to that one.
No.
No, that
I think that
one
was your
fell.
kid.
As we're having a conversation
you
over here
dropped
about
it.
how
Okay,
Holly's
anyway.
making
No,
miniatures.
someone dropped it. Oh no, it was my kid.
So we just collapsed the
Sorry.
ravine.
Okay, we collapsed.
Anyways, ahem. So yeah, you guys just collapsed the ravine
Sorry,
into the onto the escaping Simic lab specimens, and that's where you are now.
Alright. There was another Simic lab across the way, right?
Yeah, you lobbed the table through the glass window.
There may be more than just the two, actually.
Let us go investigate that one now. I begin heading over to that one.
So you climb back down to the ravine. It is hard to see in the ravine because there's a lot of dust and smoke and rubble
That's gotta
in
be,
the air from the collapse that you guys just caused.
Nothing we're unfamiliar with, I'm sure.
But you get down to the ground.
And check the wall.
Give me a investigation check. Anyone's looking around for the door to the other lab.
23.
My mighty -1 investigation.
10.
19.
13.
21.
Are you gonna roll?
I'm just playing with rocks.
You're fine. All right.
I
So
can't
the clearer signs that you guys had found earlier are no longer there because the place where there was a clear path is now filled in with rubble from the fall. But you do manage to find sort of basically exactly opposite of the door that went to the other lab, a place where you sort of strike the wall and it rings a little bit hollow.
Same thing. Python. Hope do it in. Start yanking.
All right, give me a strength check. Are you going to cast grease again, Razgan? Or you can leave with the strength of the centaur.
I'm curious what kind of strength check you're about to pull on this.
Is this athletics or strength?
Athletics.
Athletics, 30.
There's a wrenching sound, and you're pretty certain something breaks as you just pull back and the wall comes with you, but none of the gears.
That's a pretty normal thing in my daily life. There's a reason they call me the crowbar.
That one wasn't gruel.
And you look in, and yeah, you can see all the same gears and bars and things that are supposed to that came out with the other door are collapsed in the hallway where they were waiting to be extended out. You just pulled the door right
That's
off.
fine. Meandering like I own the place.
All right, everyone following?
Yep. Sure sounds like fun.
Why not?
All right, you follow in. In this lab, there are no glass cylinders filled with liquid and things. This seems to be more of a research lab, or the research side of the lab, where there's more study and things. There's books and paperwork and sort of like bookshelves sort of lining the walls of this bottommost section of this lab.
More theory, less practical.
Research, specifically. Like, study. Getting the information. It seems like this is probably where they gathered information before sending it over to the other one for the practical experimentation. Are anyone looking at anything, or are you just going to burn things?
I'm gonna
Take out match.
I'm gonna take a quick glance.
Gotta
Is there
ask.
anything that's not obviously just like...
Give me a perception check. Anyone else that wants
Are
to?
there,
Okay.
are there
Yeah.
just books about
I'm gonna do
these? Or
investigate.
Are there
Give me
just,
give me an investigate.
27 perception.
You spot there is one thing that is not like the others. On one of the bookshelves, there is a book that appears to be made of metal.
24 investigation. Give me something similar, or
24 investigation, yeah. So most of the books look to be they're sort of biology studies and discussion about ancient creatures that have gone extinct and looking for ways to bring them back. They talk about the dramatic and terrible loss that was the whale population of Ravnica. And then there's also a book that is made entirely of metal. And it's got an odd symbol on the spine of it. It's just a circle with a line struck through it.
so.
I open...
Can
or,
I tell?
I'm gonna
what
check
the
for
law-
traps.
What the symbol
Sure, give me a
is?
perception check. Give me an Arcana check.
I can roll Arcana.
Ah, they have made their way here.
I cannot roll Arcana. That's a 10 on a natural 1.
You have no idea what that symbol means.
15.
15 for traps?
Yeah.
No, that's the traps.
Open it up.
You open it
I'll
up.
take a look at it.
It's strange writing in an unfamiliar hand. You don't know what language this is. No, you do. But you do see that symbol that was on some of the spine, the circle with a line struck through it, seems to be repeated as sort of separate from everything else, as if it stands for something in particular.
It wouldn't happen to be written in a Kaladeshi hand, would it?
No.
Okay. It wasn't written by Tezzeret.
No. It's not a Kaladeshi hand.
Okay, well...
And it's
Pick up
weird
some of the
because
aspects.
as you open it up, the book is made of metal. The paper is also metal, but it's metal cut so thin that it's flexible, like paper.
But not flimsy like aluminum.
No.
Does it look like it was done that way, like, for aesthetics because it was a wizard showing off, or because it legitimately needs to be that way? for
Give
something?
me an Arcana check.
this time roll better.
I don't think any of us know about that plane.
I rolled better! That was an 11 and not a 10.
It looks like the way it's designed, the way it's put together, it looks like it was made from materials that were made from metal. Like it's not like this is not something that is of itself strange. Like like if you look at a book that's made of leather and paper, it's made of leather and paper. This is designed of two different types of metals that seem to be made for those two different types of purposes. It's not like somebody went and made a book of flesh. Would be the equivalent, like oddity sort of thing. It's like
Yeah.
Leather like metal and paper like metal.
yes.
Well, pocket the book, light a fire.
Right.
I'm gonna pick up a few of the books.
Sure.
Arbitrarily.
Yeah. You get one that talks about how ancient merfolk used to go whaling. It was apparently a very bad practice. Anyways, so yeah, you pull that book out, put it in the bag. The room starts to go up. It starts to get really smoky in here. There's probably a lot of oils all over the place, and it's like sort of black. You start to have your lungs start to get irritated and start coughing.
Alright, let's go to the next room.
You go up the stairs. The smoke follows you because smoke rises.
Yeah, but it'll go out that window that we broke earlier.
That's how that
We're
works.
the smartest party.
You light
We're
a fire
gruel.
at the lowest level. You go to the second level. This seems to be more. There are more. This is again a research level, but there's more physical things here. In addition to what appears to be a signet, a simic signet, that has that symbol painted on it over the simic symbol. That circle with those lines through it.
Seems like a bad thing.
It is a signet though, and it does read as magical. For the one of you that can sense magical.
Can I identify it?
Yeah,
Ritual cast identify?
sure. You ritual cast identify. It is a simic signet. Hang on.
See, we just got done. We just got done dealing with this in Gran Terra.
You act like they are only in one place.
I know.
So a signet is a ring. It is a Simic signet, a ring adorned with the symbol of the guild. In this case, the Simic Guild. Although the Simic Guild symbol has been supplanted by this circle with a line through it. It has 3 charges currently, and it regains 1d3 charges at dawn. When wearing it, you can expend 1 charge to cast for this one in particular, Expeditious Retreat.
Expeditious retreat?
Expeditious Retreat.
Expeditious.
Expeditious. Yes, Expeditious Retreat. Expeditious Retreat. Expeditious Retreat spells save DC 13, but it's not a spell that has a save. So
Cool.
I'd like to save against the beneficial spell I'm casting on myself.
yeah, it does require attunement though. So anyone who's attuned with it can spend a charge to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Yes. Cast a charge to go on an expedition with Expeditious retreat. I kind of have 3 things already attuned to me, so...
I mean, you can hand it to anybody else. Anybody can attune to it. If they want to attune to a guild signet for a rival guild that has this weird marking painted over it.
I feel like if I announce the existence of this thing, a certain centaur may want to smash it in the name of patriotism, so...
Magic items are really hard to smash.
No,
Yeah.
You will find a way.
It is expeditious. I'm looking at the phonetics right now.
Yeah, there's a T in it.
Expeditious. Like, look at the phonetics.
It's Expeditious Retreat in 3.5.
Yeah, it's Expeditious Retreat in 5.8. They changed it to a different word.
I blame Taylor for this.
No, you're just used to the 3.5 spelling, which is Expeditious.
Yeah.
There's legitimately 2 spellings of it? Or
Yeah.
are they 2 different?
The 3.5, it's the same spell, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Roughly the same spell, but it's spelled differently. Expeditious is the 5.8.
Yeah. Yeah, this is spelled Expeditious.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I was pretty certain I was reading that correctly.
That's what you get for
So
doubting
what does it
yourself.
do?
I mean,
It-
the
it-
fact that expeditious and expeditious are 2 different words that mean the same thing
And sound very similar.
and sound
but
very
not
similar
quite.
doesn't help English.
When you cast a spell, you may use the dash action as a bonus action.
It's expeditious retreat in 3.5 too.
Expeditious Retreat. The spell allows you to move at an incredible pace when you cast a spell, and then as a bonus action, extra
Expeditious
turn
retreat in 3.5 too.
until the spell ends. You can take the dash action. So yeah, it just lets you.
It's
get
expeditious retreat in something. It may be.
2.0.
I mean, your retreating is certainly expeditious
Yeah.
regardless, but
Okay, it gets you out of there.
yeah, it lets you use dash as a bonus action as if you were a rogue or a monk.
Could be cowards in retreat.
Well, that's the thing is like it doesn't necessarily need to be retreat because you can run forward too. You don't have to be running away. Dashing into combat is good for close combat characters.
My brain is falling apart. I don't even think the word expeditious exists.
No, I just looked for it and I couldn't find it. That might be a Taylor thing.
Expedience.
Maybe.
Why are my siblings so bad at pronouncing things?
Because Taylor's dyslexic?
I blame you for this too.
We both learned from Taylor.
Potato.
Potato is me entirely. That's
Yeah,
a correct
no.
pronunciation.
You know, expeditious isn't the word. Expeditious is the word.
Because it's expedite.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we take this journey through the English language,
Regardless, we were doing things.
you're in a
for ourselves.
room.
You
It's
got a ring.
smoky. You found a
Do you
ring.
care?
Is there anything else of interest in this room?
The slow sound of explosions
there
rumbles
are-
between just Zachary's ears.
There are bits and pieces of mechanical equipment that seem like. Yeah, there are bits and pieces of mechanical equipment
I've left my parallel universe and landed in this
so
one.
that could
what
there
kind of metal?
that could theoretically be used to make things if anyone here cared to tinker with stuff. This seems to be this is like sort of a sort of testing.
Is
testing
there
zone.
any strange oil in this room?
No, there's no strange oil in this room.
Good. Not that my character would care one way or another. But
There is no strange oil in this room. It's just the ring that has that weird mark.
So like high quality metals, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
quality materials that could be used to. That could, if anybody,
Yeah, there's
if
some,
anybody cared to like tinker with stuff or.
yeah, that sounds like a useful thing to have around.
I'll pull up one of my sacks with a bunch of miscellaneous parts.
Yeah.
Look at it later.
Yeah, you get about looking at the quality and sort of assessing it. You get about 50 gold's worth of building materials.
Various metals.
Various metals. And this is, and then there are at various places bits that it seems like the scientists were trying to put together when they were here. There's nothing really complete. The only complete item that is currently here is just the signet ring. And if you continue on further up, you find the observatory room that has a table crashed to the window. That was thrown from the other side of the ravine, and papers that seem to be on a table nearby.
I'll look at the papers.
Yeah. This is written in a Sinecant,
Okay.
which let me see what language should they use. What language would they have used?
probably depends on who's writing it.
Elven seems like a pretty good one.
Most, well, there's elves. There are some Vidalcan. There are humans. There are merfolk. I think merfolk use Sylvan.
Yeah, Merfolk use Sylvan.
I think Sylvan would be.
Yeah, it's written in Sylvan.
Well, Centaur speaks speaks Sylvan, so
Did I?
fairly confident. I'm confirming now.
Check your character sheet, it'll tell you.
Question is, do you read?
Oh yes. Yes, I Sylvan.
Yeah. So if anyone who speaks Sylvan can read it. It seems to be talking about the effects of a strange oil that had been found on animate life. It's an oil that seems to operate as if it was sentient and infects living tissue
Oh boy.
before transforming it into inorganic, more inorganic materials.
See, now you got the group full of Magic players who actually recognize this now.
Oh, I recognize that
The symbol.
from the
Well,
symbol
yeah.
Most of us.
because I know what the Phyrexian symbol is.
Yeah.
Spoilers to anybody out there who was waiting at all. But if you don't play enough Magic to know what any of that is, you probably don't know what Phyrexia is. So we're good.
What a Phyrexia is.
What a Phyrexian.
What a Phyrexia.
No, what a Phyrexia. Nope, that's what I meant to say. 100%. I meant to say what a Phyrexia.
I mean, it's still a grammatically incorrect sentence. Because there is more than one.
True, there's new Phyrexia.
They probably want to make a third one here.
They always want to make more Phyrexias.
New Phyrexia.
No, it's new Phyrexia, but it's in you.
New Phyrexia.
Just new.
Like new metal.
Yeah, like new metal, new Phyrexia.
Okay.
Yeah, the papers that you're looking at, they seem to be observations of the effects of this oil on organic metals or organic materials, and there's actually a few sketches where it shows it sort of shows a fish like sort of like a bass or a bass. Yeah, it shows like a bass and it's sort of on one side it's like sort of a normal scale bass. On the next side it's like sort of made of this odd bronze material.
Cool.
Like a goldfish.
So then you take that. So then you take that bass, the after it turns into metal, then you hollow it out and put strings on it, then turn it into a bass.
Make a bass.
Add a stick to it, yeah.
We can put it in a bass-o-matic and shred it.
I mean, it's also a brass bass, so.
A brass bass bass.
Brass.
A brass bass bass.
Play baseball with it.
You could theoretically play baseball with a brass bass bass.
A brass bass bass baseball bat.
Anyways, that's what you find in the top floor, as well as smoke now fuming out the window.
And there's nothing up from here.
No, it's similar to the other labs.
Are there tables in here?
Yes, there are
One
tables.
table. Into the window.
There are multiple tables in this room.
Are you gonna
You can
flip
tip
them?
them over anyway. I'm gonna pick up all the papers and take them along just for the heck of it.
I'm gonna start hurling tables out the window, man.
And you pick up the papers, and as you do, the table goes crashing through what's left of the broken glass, sending it out spiraling back down into the ravine below.
Okay, sure.
Gruel smashing tables is sort of the thing you do.
People expect it, okay? If I don't smash tables, the people will not be happy.
And by the people we mean
What people?
Me.
He's the only one he cares about. So.
And
I mean, what was
and
light a fire
Kovar.
before going upstairs? I mean,
look,
because nobody stopped.
Rock Chov's like a holiday, only it isn't on the calendars, and instead of dancing, you knock people flat, and instead of giving gifts, you break stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna try to leave.
Yeah, you want to lead back down through the increasingly large fire that's below you?
Yeah.
I will go out the window and run down the wall. Because I'm a monk.
I can hold my breath and go through.
Give me a Constitution check. Constitution saving throw as you go down.
And
Can't
then,
you hold your breath for at least a number of rounds equal to your Constitution
You
score?
can, but you've already been breathing in the smoke, and there's something odd about the smoke. that
yeah, you're
requires
breathing Phyrexian smoke.
requires you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. 21.
Yeah, you're fine. There's something odd about this smoke that sort of tickles your lungs even more than normal. But you take a deep, you stick your head out the window, take a deep breath, and
Your lungs have developed a light coating of rust.
rust lung. It's an interesting affliction. The rest of you leaving out which way, or at all? Would you like to stay in the oven?
Wait till the smoke clears. No, that doesn't work either.
And what, we're second story now?
Third story.
Third story.
The monk walked down the wall on the outside. One of the centaurs held his breath and went down. What are the rest of you doing to get out?
Do you want a rope?
I have
You
one.
say from the ground.
Yeah, I know. I can get back out there.
If I-
Whales are great at making third-story escapes.
Yeah, dive out the window as a whale. Add to the extinction.
So,
Yeah.
with the minor conjuration ability, because it says what you conjure vanish when it takes or deals damage. So, how immediately would that be? So, like, if I made a whole bunch of soft stuff to try to cushion my landing a little bit,
You could theoretically do that, yeah.
sure.
It would vanish after your butt, because it has to take damage, so it has to absorb all the energy from your buttocks.
Precisely.
It would take damage as you take damage, yes.
So, I'm going to go ahead and use minor conjuration to create, just absolutely fill that 3-foot cube with as much pillow as I possibly can, and then jump out the window.
Let's see. What can minor conjuration summon? Specifically?
3 feet to a side, less than 10 pounds.
Is that an ability of your wizard?
Yes, it's an at-will ability for conjuration. School.
So,
You can use your action to conjure up an inanimate object no larger than 3 feet on a side and no more than 10 pounds in your hand or in an unoccupied space you can see within 10 feet. It disappears after 1 hour when you use it again or
okay,
take a deal
so
damage.
it's 100 foot down.
It's 100
Wait,
feet.
The drop is 100 feet.
I thought the ravine was 100 feet tall. I thought it was 50 feet.
Yeah, it was 30.
No, the raven's 200 feet tall.
It got taller.
No, pretty sure the ravine was 200 feet tall originally, and it was like 100 feet up was where the observation window was. And the observation window was 60 feet wide.
Okay, it was 100 feet from the observation window. I got what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
it's much more of a drop that
So your plan is changing.
Yes, my plan is changing. I came up with this brilliant plan, then I looked out the window, and I rethought the brilliant plan.
You just made all this fluff, dropped it, saw how far it fell,
And then saw it disappear when it hit the ground.
Yeah.
when your pillow takes damage from a fall.
Yeah.
Using that same thing, I'm just gonna conjure that as a whole bunch of rope instead.
A rope that fills a 3x3 cube.
That's a lot of rope.
That is a lot of rope.
Up to 10 feet of rope, basically. So, up to 10 pounds of rope. Sorry.
Yeah. You summon 10 pounds of rope.
Cool.
How much more?
That should take.
Well, let's see. If it lays 3 feet from one corner of the cube to the other corner of the cube.
Well, it's a coil.
And well, I know, but we're trying to figure out how much rope is in a 3x3 foot. So it's
Oh,
three
you
three
could
feet
fit
there.
a ton.
Then another 3 feet on the side. Fill that in with whatever math that is, and then stack it.
It's not volume; it's weight that's the concern.
Yeah, but you can drop it and then push it out the wall, out the window.
I'm looking up the weight of rope. Keep going.
We're gonna assume that you make enough rope,
Yeah.
because you can make it out of silk if you so desire.
Yeah.
Which is much
yeah.
lighter than hemp.
Yeah. Cool. I do that.
You make enough silk rope to get to the ground. Now, what do you tie it to? Because he threw the tables out the window.
I wasn't gonna tie it to a table.
I'm sure I've made enough of a mess of other things.
Like constantly.
Tie it to the glass shards of the window.
I mean, he's light enough that probably would work. Until the Minotaur tries to use it.
Yeah, but the rope isn't.
The glass won't cut
10
things.
pounds of rope.
The glass won't cut things until you,
Until there's 10 pounds of rope.
Until you move it.
So let's see.
I'm gonna
50
shift
feet.
into a bird
Okay.
and fly out the
How big of a
How big
bird?
of a bird?
like falcon-sized.
Because
No.
you have.
Not one that can carry people?
Because
Oh,
you can get
that'd
up
be
to
nice.
a CR 10,
It'd be too nice.
I think.
So,
Pretty much any animal.
CR5.
CR5. So CR5
Is it either 5 or it's either 1/2 your level or 1/4 your level? I don't
Let's
remember.
look it up. D&D Beyond. It's a very useful tool. One that can be used to look up abilities. of other
Regardless, you at the very least, I think like giant bats can carry a medium-sized creature, and they are like CR2.
Okay, who's the medium-sized creature here?
The current CR.
birds. Everyone.
Technically everybody, but I don't know if you can carry the centaur.
She can currently reach a CR3.
CR3.
So
there's like basically nothing in this room because people threw everything out of windows.
Yes.
and by people you mean Kovar.
Well, I was trying to keep it ambiguous, but yes, I guess I'll explicitly blame you for our problems.
Thank you.
How big is the window even? I mean,
60 feet wide.
So the only one I can really take is the goblin.
though,
You already went out the window, right?
Yeah, I'm already gone.
You
Yeah.
can take the Minotaur.
how
Oh, can I?
A medium.
trying to make like
Minotaur
a,
might be heavier than the centaur.
trying
No.
to summon a like a
No, I guarantee
climbing
he's not.
python
He's
or
not. Wait,
baton
I
or whatever it is. Hammering that into the wall would probably count as
Yeah,
damaging
you could turn into a giant eagle, which is CR1.
But I can't carry the centaurs.
Giant eagle is large. You can carry anything that's medium sized. You'd carry them in your claws. Yeah, you could carry a centaur in your claws.
You have to use both
Just-
your claws for one
Wouldn't you
Just
be
one
super
or
encumbered?
No, just one.
One at a time.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll change and tell you guys to get on her back.
Cool.
She'll carry him.
You couldn't carry like you couldn't carry more than one person.
Oh, dang.
You could carry one and a goblin. Like the goblin could be on your back.
You can go up and down.
Take-
Yeah, you're also
plenty of time.
a bird. You can fly.
All right.
So yeah, you turn into a giant eagle and you take them down.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
Except for him. She leaves him.
Well, he already
I already left.
Oh, never mind.
he already left, so it doesn't matter.
Ah.
All
I
right.
take the Constitution approach to the problem.
You all are down on the ground of the ravine now.
You took
The smoke has finally there's smoke billowing out from one window up the ravine, but the dust and dirt from the avalanche has settled, and you see that the ravine is still passable. It's just now rougher terrain than it would have been otherwise.
And we killed all the things that were in it.
I mean, there's nothing moving around at least.
Alright,
So continuing on.
our job is done. Let's move on.
Yes.
We smashed the state.
All right. Continue heading east. Unless.
So basically, this whole ravine is now tough terrain, essentially.
Yeah, difficult terrain.
Not the whole ravine. This
This particular
section,
Yeah.
which doesn't affect some of us.
I mean, yes, but it's going to affect the caravan that comes in behind us.
Yeah, the cards and everything.
Yeah, it will affect the slower moving aspects of the thing, but it is also still not going into is it territory or
Yeah.
civic territory.
You can also just give a Cyclops a broom.
Cyclops street sweepers.
I mean, I feel like the crew are very used to maneuvering around difficult terrain.
Yeah, there's a reason, and the reason the Gruul are used to moving around difficult terrain is because they've got scrappers like you guys that go ahead of the larger groups and
Make a mess.
and make a mess, but also clear out the path so that they can take their time with things that move slower over difficult terrain.
Yeah, they're willing to move with the difficult terrain as long as we have dealt with the threats that are in it,
Yeah.
which we have.
All right. I guess
So that's
keep
the way
moving
we,
on.
Yeah, like the fact that it's difficult, it's not impassable.
I
Which is the
will
important part.
I will take a minute to comb through the debris and make sure that there is nothing still moving.
You look around and know there's nothing that was under the debris survived. Under the debris survived.
Do I find corpses?
Yes, you find corpses.
Good.
Alright, you guys continue on east. This ravine travels for quite a distance, and you're still in it by the time the sun dips down. Are there multiple suns around again?
No.
Only one sun. So nightfall comes, and you are still in the ravine. Do you want to continue on through the night, or do you want to try to set up a camp?
And also, we've been specifically on the lookout for more doors like that, I imagine.
Yeah, you haven't seen any additional like windows up higher or anything like that.
Yeah.
That lab was specifically situated at the bottom of the incline that leads down to the ravine, so there's likely that had some purpose to where the lab was situated.
So shall we rest or continue going?
We took that short rest earlier, so
But do you want to go an evening without sleep? Or how far into the evening do you want to go before you sleep?
Also, you don't recover spells except on a long rest,
true.
You're a wizard, you can get some of your spells back.
if you use the ability, which he didn't say he was using.
Yeah, because I forget about it.
It would probably be a good idea to get rest.
And then let's find a spot.
I have no objections.
Anyone who wants to make a nature check, by the way.
Nature check?
Yeah,
Supposedly.
not to allow.
No, I guess not.
Fantastic -1 nature check.
16.
18.
18.
19. More than that.
How much more than that?
26.
Relevant to the amount of information you'll get.
26.
All right. So most of you traveling at night is inadvisable, typically. Like you can, and you're a big enough group that you might not have any trouble. Kovar, specifically as a scout, you know that nighttime is when Rakdos recruitment drives occur. And
Recruitment.
and this isn't their territory. This isn't really anywhere near their territory.
But that doesn't stop the Rakdos.
But that doesn't. But they have longer ranging recruitment parties than others. So
You want to be in the show?
you think they ask if you want to be in the show?
No, they ask as they're catching you. It's a sarcastic response.
There you go.
Kovar doesn't say anything. He begins setting up a shelter.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, but they're.
I'm a Rakdos player, sir. I know what they do and don't ask.
But yeah,
They ask nothing.
There is always a non-zero chance of running into a Rakdos recruitment group
At night.
at night.
At night, Rakdos gets added to the random encounter table.
Yeah, basically.
So what kind of a camp are we setting up here? Because we're still in the ravine.
Yep, you're still in a ravine. So how do you guys want to set up your camp?
I'm just setting up.
Just putting a tent.
Yeah, on the edge, like in one of the edges,
On the sides.
and
You want to buy some death sticks?
making sure it's nice
Wanna
and
be some death sticks?
dusty and gray so that it melds in with the rock. I mean, it's not like super hidden, just not.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Fabricate, because that will let me basically use raw materials to make something within a 10-foot cube or a 5-foot cube. So I'm going to kind of move the rock face to encompass us just a little bit more and make a bit of a cranny in the rocks there that we can sit in. That'll help.
Fabricate a small hut out of the rock.
Basically.
So you use Fabricate to basically pull out a chunk of the wall. And
Yeah.
make it into walls.
So like Liamon's tiny hut.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Lehman's prefab.
Trying to keep the outer wall still looking fairly.
You make sort of like a you make like sort of a 10-foot step basically coming off the wall and stepping over.
Yeah, I'm going into the wall a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So you've made an impromptu cave
Yeah.
for which to set up tents in.
Sure, sounds good.
Anybody else doing anything to help with the setup other than just putting your tent up? How many tents are we putting up?
Well, if you've got a cave, I'm just gonna kind of. I don't have a proper tent so much as I have a big gray piece of fur and cloth, and I'm just gonna kind of line it with to keep the elements mostly out.
Okay.
Alright. Who's keeping watch? First watch, anyway.
I'll take first watch.
That works.
I'll take second.
I'll take one after that.
I mean, Ravnica nights are pretty bright, courtesy of the 2 moons.
2 moves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, it's still dark, but
It's not like
it's not.
there's
Though
never
you are in a ravine, which means that you will have more cover from the.
Yeah.
You'll be in shadow.
but you never have that like new moon pitch black night that you do around here.
If you want me to take the mid watch in the middle of the night, considering I'm one of the only 2 in this group that can actually see in the dark.
That probably is. But I'm assuming you guys are going to make a campfire as well. So
The midnight watch.
Why?
I mean, you don't have to. Are you going to make a campfire?
Why would we make a campfire?
I mean, we don't want to necessarily be cold. I've got blankets.
Yeah, we've got furs. We're used to this nonsense.
All right.
Cold count.
All right. So you guys make camp. First watch is Stan. Go ahead and make me a perception check. 23. All right. So you hear the sound of rumbling in the distance. Not really nearby, but it's the distinct sound that you would know of a rubble hulk somewhere in the vicinity.
How fun. Is a rubber hulk a beast or a monstrous thing?
It's an elemental.
It's an elemental.
Elemental. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the distinct sound of a building moving.
It's an earth elemental in a place where the earth is buildings.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
It doesn't sound like it's nearby, but it sounds like there is a Rubble Hulk that has been awakened somewhere nearby.
It's the larger cousin of the Cobbleboot.
I'm just gonna keep an ear on it to see if it's coming closer to us or away from us, or if it's in the ravine or up top or wherever. Just gonna.
Yeah. As you listen through your shift, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it's. It sounds like it's getting closer, but it doesn't seem like it's coming towards you. It sounds like it's getting instantly closer. It does sound like it's in the ravine, or at least near the ravine. You don't see it throughout your shift though.
Okay.
So,
Losing anybody until.
so whoever's getting up for the second shift would be.
The second shift would be the midnight.
Oh,
Okay.
that
So
one.
yeah.
I'll be third then.
I fill you in on the sounds of the.
It's a rebel brew, I think.
Yes.
I'll make sure to keep a watch out for it then.
Yeah. Okay. You pass that on. Go ahead and give me a perception check. William.
20.
So you hear the sound of the rebel Hulk, and then you hear the sound of music,
Animals are alive with the sound of music.
like bagpipes.
Generous of you to call that music, but okay.
That's why I specified. You hear the sound. You hear the sound of bagpipes, people, fire, sort of converging with the source of the sound of the Rebel Hulk.
Sounds like a Rakdos party just ran into a Rebel Hulk. And they're having a party.
And it doesn't seem to be. That seems to be keeping steady. So wherever that sound is coming from, throughout the entirety of your shift.
I just pay special attention to find out when the person playing the bagpipes gets crushed by a Rebel Hulk.
That may not happen. The Rakdos are not to be underestimated.
No, but I really hope, and I'm waiting, and I'm just listening for the sound of as the bagpipes get stepped on.
You get to the end of your shift, and the sound is still happening.
So I will. Holly's not here, so I will wake Garrus. You can probably hear it right now, but
Give me a perception check here.
Six.
Nope. Can't hear shit.
I mean, whether you can hear it or not, there's a Rebel Hulk wandering around out there, and it sounds like it's run into a Rakdos party. I can hear their awful music and lots of noise, and they've sort of converged into the same spot.
At that point, you hear the sound of the bagpipes being stepped on.
Oh! That's a good noise.
So we go
After a few moments, it starts playing again.
Damn it.
Turns out, skeleton bagpipes.
Yeah, it
How
would
do
be.
they blow those?
It would be a skeleton playing the bagpipes. They have unending breath. It just never stops because it's an undead playing it. So it's just wind getting pulled up through the rib cage and pushed out through
Also,
the mouth.
there's a lot of magic in Ravnica.
Yeah. Like it doesn't have lungs to hold the air, but it has.
I'd also like to clarify that it doesn't matter because the bagpipe is also skeletal, so no one knows how the stupid thing works.
I put this right up I mean, it's got to be a special spell.
The Rakdos found a way because it abused him.
Should we go hunting for those things? Do we necessarily want to clear this land?
right now.
I know, but if I'm asleep.
Do we want to kill the Rakdos? He says in his sleep.
Don't want to kill
No,
the
the bagpipe
Rakdos.
starts
Kill
back up and you just hear, kill the Rakdos?
Kill the Rakdos.
It's one of my
So-
favorite enemies.
You pass on to your shift. Give me another perception check.
15.
15. Yeah, you hear the sound of revelry happening. You don't hear the sound of a rebel hulk, though.
They killed Rebel Hulk.
So
Yeah, you can definitely hear a party happening in the ravine.
The Rakdos would get along with Pelagiad.
Oh yeah.
You definitely hear the sound of.
They would enjoy reveling in the glory of Pelagiad.
Oh yes.
You hear the sound of revelry happening somewhere nearby. It's not close enough, like it's an immediate threat, but reveling is occurring.
Okay.
You're pretty certain something's getting torn apart fleshly.
Flashlight.
Rebel Hulks aren't fleshy.
No, so they're tearing something else apart.
Well, as long as they stay busy.
They seem to be amusing themselves with something. That something's probably not amused, but. So, the rest of your shift passes uneventfully.
I hope it's the bagpipes.
No, the bagpipes are still playing. And the rest of you get up as the dawn breaks. You can still hear the party. Now you all can hear it, though. It has escalated in volume. Whether that means it's gotten closer, you can't really tell. There seems to be more than one bagpipe now, though.
They made a second one. The guy they were ripping apart, they made a set of bagpipes from.
As you awoke, the sound of a Rakdos revelry is occurring, and it's louder than it was previously with the addition of a second set of bagpipes.
Nice. Kovar doesn't seem to care.
Since Garrus heard the sound of something fleshy being ripped apart last night, I made the observation that whoever they were tearing apart last night, they made a new set of bagpipes from him.
Yes, that would be the Rakdos way.
I like the idea of the instrument of choice for the Rakdos is bagpipes.
Absolutely, why wouldn't it be? It's the easiest instrument to make out of a human being.
Can I hear any other instruments or just the bagpipes?
There's some,
That's the loudest one.
That's the loudest one. There's some flute and some tambourine in there as well. But the bagpipes are the loudest.
It carries the most, at least.
I feel like in high magic settings, there's probably also magic guitars. Just because really powerful.
Yeah, but that's not the Rakdos
That would
style.
require electricity, though.
No, it doesn't. Magic.
Magic electricity.
Yes, that's a thing.
Magic
Is it?
guitars.
That'd
Yeah. Is it like making a guitar if they care? But not Rakdos. Guitars sound good. Why would they want that?
They're so loud.
The Rakdos make some good music, man. They throw good parties. That's why they're allowed to exist.
Yeah.
That's why people willingly go to Rakdos is because they have the kicking parties. People get kicked and murdered in them, but the parties themselves are kicking.
If you survive, they're great.
So, does it sound like it's coming from the direction we're going?
It's impossible to tell what direction it's going from.
Echoes in a ravine.
Yeah. The bagpipes in particular are echoing so much in the ravine. It's impossible to tell what direction it's in.
Like I feel like heavy metal is a Rakdos genre.
Possibly, but not for their wandering murder parties.
Have you never heard bagpipe metal?
That's fair.
Also, yeah, bagpipe metal exists.
It's a thing. Well, we shall go this way.
Okay.
If we encounter them, they will die.
Yeah.
I could spry on our little intruders.
Like Rick's Mahdi is just like a non-stop heavy metal concert,
Would you like to scry on
complete with the
Rakdos?
drugs.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Arcane Eye.
Okay.
Or she's gonna fly around and look for him.
Yes, but Arcane Eye is invisible.
To update you, as you woke in the morning, the sounds of revelry are loud and apparent.
Sounds of what?
Revelry.
Ah.
There's apparently a Rakdos party happening somewhere nearby, and they have at least 2 bagpipes.
Okay.
It's a Rakdos reveler.
So I'm going to go ahead and start flying around with my little magical eyeball.
Okay. What direction?
The direction we're going to go.
Okay. So you pop out this invisible eye, and it Kilrog's eye heads down the
Can I point out that we've only ever dealt with or encountered in this campaign thus far the guilds that are in the next expansion that isn't out yet? We've had Simic, Gruul, and Rakdos are all in the coming expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm being thematic or something.
We get our spells back, right?
Yeah, you
Yes.
had a long rest, so your spells are still. And as are all your hit points and your hit die, and half of your hit die.
I think you should just be able to press the long rest button up at the top.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a long rest button.
Well, maybe I did not know that.
There's a long rest button you can press.
I'd advise doing that just so you can get all those abilities that you may have forgotten about if you use any.
Yep. As you head further down, you find that the ravine eventually tapers off into a more natural river, and into a more natural landscape. So the ravine just sort of like slides down, and just to the north of where the ravine ends, you see a carnival tent, small carnival tent, built in the rubble, built over the rubble of something that has collapsed recently. And that is where the sound is coming from.
I'm going to go ahead and use minor conjuration to create a little miniature battle map type thing of the situation going on that I see.
Yeah. You create a map that shows where you guys are, where the ravine ends, and where the Rakdos Carnival is. Right now, all you can really see are shadows dancing on the exterior of the tent. Everything that's happening seems to be happening inside.
I'm curious how prevalent the detect magic type things would be.
What animals are common around here? Would I know that?
Give me a nature check. In the Rubblebelt, Makas are pretty common.
Giant saber-tooth tigers.
Big cats.
Plus a variety. I mean, I'm
Can
sure
I
there's a
think of
variety
anything
of small.
smaller?
Rats, mice,
Okay.
insects.
Okay.
Probably birds of prey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Makas are the most common, though.
I'm gonna.
Well, they're the most commonly seen.
In the city.
They're the most visible.
I think I can just honestly go because I mean the eye is invisible. The only way to see it, presumably, would be
you
some
can
kind
take
of.
it into the tent.
Yeah, because I mean
Okay.
it can move up to 30 feet around in any direction. It's invisible.
Just tell me you're constantly conjuring what you're seeing on the floor.
Yes, that's what I said. I'm making a little miniature battle map type thing.
Get a little TV for them, so they can watch.
A 3D
Except
TV.
in 3D.
A 3D TV.
And it's like 3 foot, so it's pretty impressive.
That's good as well. All right. Taking the arcane eye in.
Sure, why not?
You approach.
What's the worst that can happen?
You approach the tent. A perception check.
A solid barrier blocks the eye's movement, but it can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch in diameter. So,
give me a perception check.
yeah, I want to do something that isn't the main entrance.
Okay.
Like, if there's some kind of hole in the tent, or someplace where a pole would go in, basically.
See how thorough the Rakdos are when they're assembling their tents.
Sorry, perception?
Yeah.
Let's see. 9.
Okay. So yeah, you find like the tent isn't like flat to the ground, so you can get underneath the tent easily enough. It seems like it doesn't seem like it's this seems like a tent that has been recently created, as opposed to one of their traveling carnival tents. It's not. It hasn't had like the linings attached to it or anything. It's a little bit jagged at the bottom corners. It's a little bit wet, oddly enough, as you go through it, but you're not too terribly concerned with that fact. You duck underneath the tent and look inside, and you see a carnival happening. It's like sort of a 3-ring circus. There's a crowd of revelers on the sort of sitting around the outside, and as inside the ring, there's currently a man in a jester outfit, pogo sticking on a corpse. Like, it's sort of interesting, like, the corpse is attached to the pogo stick so that it bounces and bobs every time the pogo jumps up and down. And it seems like he's intentionally trying to see how hard it's going to take of him bouncing to get a limb to fall off. And it looks like one of the legs is about to go as he's sort of bouncing around. And as he's doing this, there are fire twirlers on unicycles going across trapeze. And going across high lines. There is an elephant that is made of bones on one side that has a large masked man sort of standing atop it. It's sort of like, so it has sort of like a demonic mask that has sort of tendrils coming off the back of it, wearing this really heavy looking black and red plate mail with a spear. You're just sort of standing atop this bone elephant, sort of acting, orchestrating almost the chaos that is happening. And the audience members, many of whom are wearing Rakdos colors, but not all of whom are, seem to be sort of overly enthralled with the performance. Go ahead and make me a charisma saving throw.
Are those the saving throws that I'm no good at? Those are the saving throws I'm no good at. 8.
And you can see why. This is a really good show. You really need to go and watch this show.
Normally I find the Rakdos so predictable, but this is a far more interesting
I would not call the Rakdos predictable.
I don't know, once you've seen your first 1,000 corpses being flailed around so barbarically, it stops being interesting, but this...
It's more interesting when I'm the one flailing the corpses.
Well, let's go add to that adventure then. Why don't we go...
I do wish I could observe it just a little bit better than with this primitive scrying spell. Scrying.
They are in the way.
They're not. They're just in the line.
Well, but still, they
They
exist.
could be in the way.
We can
Not ruled and die.
How many are there?
You don't know. You don't care. Really. You just want to see the show.
Do you do nothing but quote your superiors?
I do not have
3D map.
superiors.
Can we see on the 3D map? How
You
many-
have a war leader. He is your superior.
Such a closed-minded thought process.
I mean, if you tell that to him, if you tell him he's not your superior, he's going to step on you. So...
That's not how the rules work. We understand each other.
We do want him to come
Yes.
along. I mean, he needs to have some fun too.
The goblin stepped out of the tent, by the way.
Yeah.
I was walking.
I'm gonna chase
Are
him
we
down.
going to
I'm
sit
gonna
in
chase
this
him down.
cave all day?
I'm gonna...
No, you
Are we going to do something different? Variety is the spice of life, I believe the old saying goes.
I walk out.
I grab him.
I leave.
I grab him.
He's just trying to give me an acrobatics check for me and an athletics check for me.
Sure.
Yep.
You assume that his athletics check is higher than his acrobatics check.
They're equal, actually.
6. Yeah, mine are equal too.
10.
6.
Yeah, you
I rolled low.
try to grab him, but he's...
I slip out.
Need something
Let's
new.
insight this guy, see if I can tell that he's Caterjankus.
Give me a deception.
Yeah, he's not...
Sure. I mean... You do the same. Do I really need deception if this legitimately lines up with my philosophies?
No, actually, you don't.
Like, I was
Give me a-
legitimately
give me a-
kind of
give me
interested
a-
in this.
A persuasion roll.
I was legitimately
19.
kind of interested in
Do a
this.
persuasion roll.
16.
He seems legitimately interested, but he seems more interested
Yeah,
than he would be otherwise.
He's walking away from us.
Yeah.
Okay. I go and I pick him up by the scruff of the neck.
Give me an athletics check.
Yeah, you can...
Where's your acrobatic?
Oh, yeah,
Nope.
There you go.
You don't succeed?
Nope.
What'd you roll?
A 5.
I can't roll a 5. I can't roll a single digit.
What did you roll?
22.
Yeah. You're still walking, but there's no ground underneath you anymore.
You may not want to wander off on your own.
Why don't we get like 3 or 4
I mean, you could.
in the front door and then the others surprise attack.
I look at How many does it sound like there are based on the noise?
A lot.
Based on. No.
Like you saw a rough estimate of what you were seeing. It's a carnival. Like it's like a big carnival tent that's full of people.
You saw it at all of 10 frames per minute.
Yeah.
What would be the tactical observation skill of can we take them?
That'd be you could give me a survival check or an insight check.
They're the same.
Secondary question: do we even need to? Because if I recall, the guilds aren't actively at war.
No, Gruul is.
Rule is always at war.
27.
It's always better to avoid Arachno's carnival, just as a rule.
So as a rule of thumb, we might be able to take them, but the Rakdos are unpredictable.
Yeah, you might be able to take them. They might summon a demon.
But honestly, they're not not establishing civilization. They're not trying to do anything around here we care about.
And also they're not likely to stay there.
Minor conjuration to make the collar of my long coat spiky and uncomfortable. Because you picked me up basically by the collar of my coat, right?
Yeah.
It is now covered in spikes.
I have calluses thicker than you.
You can't do any damage with my but yeah.
I mean, it says it vanishes when it deals damage. Or if it deals damage.
Oh, if it deals damage? Alright,
Yeah.
you take 1 point of damage.
And then the spikes again.
And the spike finish.
I just glare at you for another 6 seconds. Minor conjuration.
I could let go of the collar and hold you by the neck directly.
It's not a pleasant experience.
Holly, make an insight roll.
Alright.
Well, it might be a refreshing change. Minor conjuration.
I would like to restrain him
Okay, yeah.
because I've got the grappling feat.
You readjust and just like sort of pin his arms to his side.
23.
It seems like something is affecting the mind of the goblin. Magically.
We're moving on. I begin walking directly the direction we're going.
I follow.
Where are you?
I believe pinning
Being
using
kept.
I believe pinning uses the grappler using the grappler feat also restrains you.
I think it's just the target.
I can check.
I mean, I weigh what, 20 of you?
That's probably a lower end estimate, yes. Because I'm slightly short but slightly heavy for a
you
goblin.
and the creature are both restrained until the grapple ends.
Because you're pinning them like wrestling style, like you've got your body over them and your leg hooked around your arm. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that requires you to like push him onto the ground.
But he's so tiny.
He is so tiny. It's more of a focus thing for you than it is for.
I mean, minor conjuration doesn't say it requires a somatic
Also,
component.
restrained also doesn't.
I mean, it doesn't stop him casting.
Yeah,
I just readjusted my grip, basically.
Yeah.
I'm holding him by him,
So
not his clothes.
You're still grappling him. You're not
Yeah.
restraining him.
Minor conjuration doesn't say it requires a somatic component.
And it wouldn't have mattered anyways, because neither grapple nor restrain prevent you from casting spells.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And restraint does because somatic components require you to be able to use your hands.
Actually,
Restrain doesn't make you unable to use your hands.
yeah,
It
it's
just
weird.
says- It just says that you can't get any benefits from speed. Your speed is 0, and you have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on your attack rolls and disadvantage on your dexterity savings.
5e made grappling weirder.
So, is this show something I want to see, or something I really just have to see?
it.
Grease. I cast Grease. I'm going to cast.
In response, you provoke an opportunity attack because I'm a mage slayer.
Are you going to opportunity attack him?
I'm gonna kick him in the. I'm gonna punch him in the face, or kick him rather.
As you're doing this, Ari's going to say something seems to be affecting his mind. I don't think.
Shortly, it will be blunt trauma.
Do you have a restoration spell or anything?
That's what I was.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit you?
My AC is 13.
So yes.
That's not how I avoid
It's a
getting
good thing
hit.
we're not playing the Pathfinder playtest, because in the Pathfinder 2 playtest, critical successes are both natural 20s and 10 or more higher than the target number.
This is a sneak attack, by the way, because I'm grappling you, and that's what the grappling feat lets me do.
Yep.
That
on that
feat
attack
is
roll.
stupid in the best way.
That's what restraining people is for, typically. But when you're restrained, everybody attacking you has advantage, and so you pin somebody on the ground, everybody gets around and just circle storms on you.
31. Would you like to make a is it Constitution saving throw to cast the spell?
31 damage?
Yes.
It's Constitution. No, it's oh wait, for Mage Slayer, that's right. Concentration check, I believe, is a Constitution saving.
Yeah, it's a con saving throw.
Yep.
So I have to make a 31.
No, it's half damage.
So I have to make a
hold on.
15 or 16?
Yeah, concentration checks are half the damage you take. Half the damage you take, or 10, whichever's higher.
15 or 16.
And you have disadvantage on the saving throw.
Yeah.
So is it 15 or 16?
How much damage you do?
31.
31, so it'd be 15. So DC 15 concentration.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
I don't know if I want to make this or don't want to make this.
Why not?
That's a 10 plus my con, 14.
You try to cast the spell, but he just in the face. It goes out of your head. He casts counter spell with rule mana.
Yeah. How hurt does he look from that?
You actually.
How much? Wait, that was 31 damage?
Yeah.
Hold on. 31. Wait, no. That's not healing. Unhealing.
It technically doesn't work like that because Mage Slayer doesn't let you interrupt spells, but.
Yes, it does.
No, if when you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, not when they're casting a spell.
Oh.
But I'm gonna let it happen anyways because it's funny.
And it makes sense if I'm trying to do it well.
I do like the idea of a magic card that is like a really cheap burn spell that is only able to be cast when in reaction to an opponent's casting a spell. So it's a red counter spell. So it's instead of countering your spell, I just burn you for casting a spell at me.
Yeah.
Okay, I assume because it was in the same line of text as whenever a creature within 5 feet tries to cast a spell, I can use my reaction.
Yeah, it's bulleted on the actual description because it's when somebody within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you use your reaction to attack them. When you damage a creature that's concentrating on a spell, they have disadvantage on the saving throw.
I got you.
And you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by creatures within 5 feet.
Cool.
Mage Slayer is a really good feat. It's not that good of a feat, but it's a really good feat.
I mean, it's really good if you're a grappler.
Yeah, I mean, it's good
because
regardless.
then the mage is within 5 feet of me.
It's good regardless because that's like lots of times people will like shocking grasp to try to get away from because if you step away from a melee attack, you're getting an attack opportunity.
Well, shocking grasp is the same.
Shocking grasp. Well, no, but shocking grasp is something that you'll do to try to get away from that.
And then they'll get punched.
Punch in response. You get your attack opportunity before they hit your shocking grasp.
All right, so I'm still holding you, and now I'm glaring at you.
Okay, there's some kind of a mind control thing or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get rid of, and
We have established that.
Well, we have to be careful with who we approach it. Going at the same thing.
That's why we're not approaching it.
Should we just go up top and avalanche the thing again? That seems to be it.
Are they in the ravine?
Are they?
They were just outside of it, weren't they, when it came to a clearing? Or a large open area?
Yeah, they're just outside the ravine.
Okay, they're outside.
You can, it's entirely capable of sneaking past.
They're not really our problem.
And you're pretty certain they'll leave.
Better yet,
At night.
they are a problem to the other guilds.
I'm going to go ahead and... Because we're still sort of in the camp, right?
Yeah, we haven't gotten too far.
I'm going to go ahead and cast... I'm going to cast Major Image behind the wall of the camp so no one else can see it. And the Major Image is going to be 2 of me.
I've got some bad news about you casting that spell.
Okay, hit me. I'm casting a spell that does something, and you hit me in the face.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't identify spells. I just stop them. 27 hits you, right?
Yes.
Good.
Hits me by a lot.
Like I said, it's a good thing this is critted you twice.
This time you only take 29 damage.
You don't have to save though, because it's not a concentration spell. I mean, it is, but it hasn't activated yet. because you hit him in response to him beginning to cast the spell.
Yes.
Okay.
So he hits you, and then minor illusions appear.
It's actually major image.
Major image.
So it's the one with sound and stuff, and that appears behind the wall, basically. And then, after I get punched, I'm going to use benign transposition, which is basically a 30-foot teleport to an unoccupied space.
Is it a spell?
It's an ability.
Yeah,
It's a special ability I get for being a conjuration wizard.
Yep. It's a school of conjuration ability.
All right. So where'd you appear?
50 feet?
I appeared basically as far from the camp that I can in the direction of the carnival.
So,
You're still in the ravine, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Still in the ravine. There are 2 images of him in the ravine.
So yeah. So now there's 3 of me charging in that direction.
Well, you cast a spell first, so I get to make a save against it, right? To disbelieve it.
Let me take a look at
Oh,
each
yeah,
image.
this.
If I have reason to disbelieve, which I do, because I know there's only one of him.
Okay, does that image show up before he
Yeah,
looks
the
at
Yes.
image is outside the camp. You guys are all like sort of in the camp right now.
Do we see? Okay, we
So
don't see it
the
yet.
image shows up, and then
As soon as it shows up, it's going to shoot it because you're holding him as long as you are within range.
No, it showed
Yeah,
up
it's an
behind a
investigation.
wall,
It's
basically.
Oh,
yeah,
behind a wall,
it's an
okay.
investigation check against his spell save DC to discern which ones are illusions.
okay. So this isn't a saving throw, so I don't get advantage on it,
No, it's not saving. It's a check.
but it is an investigation.
So just to establish, so there are two illusory versions of Razgun outside the ravine. Razgun teleport out of your hands, and outside the camp is bolting down towards the end of the ravine.
So
There are 3 Razguns running.
cool.
Those of you that are following, step out of the camp. You see 3 Razguns. Anyone that wants to can make an intelligence investigation check to see if they can discern which ones are illusions.
Is it against my save
Okay.
DC?
That's what you're saying.
Which is 17. Yeah.
That's an 18.
Nice.
So 2 of the Razguns, like as you're looking and concentrating on them, 2 of them become faintly transparent.
I would like to catch up to him.
I believe you can.
Cool.
Yes, Tim?
I got a 4, but seems like he knows what
I
he's
see
doing.
him,
I'm gonna follow him.
Just blink out of his hand and then blink over to.
Blink out of his hand over to outside the camp and then
Outside the camp.
bolts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Charge
dash.
after as well?
I'm just gonna dash down there.
Yep.
See what
You can make an investigation check as well to see if you can discern the illusions.
As soon as I see, I'm going to point out that's the real one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see
you
3
can't tell the difference. You see 3 of them, but Kovar points out which one's the real Razgun.
Oh, okay.
As soon as he says which one is the real Razgun, I cast invisibility.
So the
Now,
major image goes away.
now, do I have time to catch up to him before that because he would have had to use
Let's
a
go ahead and
round.
roll initiative. Let's go ahead and roll
Yeah,
initiative.
So you've teleported away.
Everyone roll initiative.
Did you roll a 20?
Yes.
Guess what I rolled?
A 20.
No, it's a 1.
I ain't going to the circus today.
Razgun. This episode titled "Razgun Tries to Run Away to the Circus."
I want to run off and join the circus.
No.
It's a new direction for my life.
Daddy Kova said no.
All right. Razgun.
Huh?
What's your
That was a 1 plus my dex. I believe that's a 4.
I think your dex is higher than mine.
I have
I mean,
a
you're a
very
goblin.
high dex.
Kovar?
I have a very high con.
22.
Ari.
17.
What's the dwarf's name again?
Johnny.
Johnny.
22.
What's your dex?
14.
What's your dex?
14.
What's your intelligence?
9.
What's your intelligence?
8.
Wow.
That explains some of this.
Yes.
I have more wisdom than I do intelligence.
So do I.
Yeah, but it goes ability to react and ability to process.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't weird. It's an ability to react, ability to process.
And then you roll off.
And I'm trying to think of where what next ability.
If you were going to go to next one, it'd be wisdom next.
React, process, instinct, yeah, probably wisdom. Or willpower or charisma. One of the two.
I'd say willpower be last, and then there's nothing left to go to roll except roll off, because you wouldn't go to strength or con for a tiebreaker.
No.
I feel like as low as you would go would be charisma.
I mean, it's like ability to push off the ground. And strength.
I mean, yes, but casting a spell isn't pushing off ground, so...
Yeah, I know. Okay. What's the Minotaur's name again?
Garrus.
Garrus. I erased all the names and thus forgot all the names.
I'm acting on the instinct.
Initiative? What here?
5.
5?
She's still going for that.
Yep. I'm
And
still.
Press.
20. 16 plus 4.
Because it turns out, when I
So,
roll a
Shawnee.
1...
Yeah.
Kovar and Razgan are bolting.
Yeah, I've been instructed which one is the real one, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So just kind of like,
He is. What's your speed?
I have a base 30-foot speed.
And you teleport 30 feet away, so you're 60 feet away. We'll say you dashed, so you are.
Yeah, I would dash
So you're
until
90
he
feet.
pointed it out, then I'd do invisibility.
So you're. We haven't cast invisibility yet.
Yeah, no, I
You're
haven't.
90 feet away from the camp right now.
okay.
If I was thinking about this more, I would have sent both of the illusions one way, then teleported the other way and cast invisibility. But oh well.
You weren't thinking about it. You're just trying to go.
Well,
fast.
also you can't teleport and
True, that's
visibility
right.
at the same time.
You also can't invisibility and my major illusion at the same time because they must
Yeah.
pass spells.
Well,
But it's sort of like the illusions cast invisibility too.
So
By not existing.
I will just cover 45 feet of ground and dagger of venom.
Do you activate it?
No, it takes an action to activate.
Aren't you-
I'm also not going to kill him with poison.
Aren't you at disadvantage for throwing that
for
distance?
the distance, yeah.
Disadvantage for the distance.
It's also a +1 dagger.
And I have 13 AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My main form of durability comes in the fact that I have an insane number of hit points for a wizard.
And for a goblin too.
21 on the first die.
Goblins gain con.
Do they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gain
24.
dex and con.
21 hits you.
Yes, 21 hits.
So you take
A 14 hits me. 13 hits me.
11 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And then second attack followed up with a bone dart.
I bet you can't flurry of blows of ranged attacks.
I know. That has to be on armor strikes.
It would be so awesome if you could though, because that would be like the ultimate ninja move. It's just like
Yeah, it's
flinging daggers everywhere.
I'm sure someone's made like a monk archetype that does that.
Flurry of throws.
Kensei can do that, I think, actually.
No.
Because they can choose any of their Kensei weapons they can flurry of blows with, and you can choose a ranged weapon as your Kensei weapon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Kensei could do that. That's right. Flurry of throws.
23 hits you.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and use my reaction for second chance. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force that creature to reroll.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
You still have disadvantage.
No, you force that creature to reroll.
No, yeah, no, it takes the
It's
reroll.
not disadvantage. You don't impose disadvantage. It forces a reroll.
Really?
I just forced you to crit me.
No, wait. But doesn't he?
Yeah,
But
so
he has
the
disadvantage
way
on
it
the
works,
attack
so
for
the way
range.
it works, the way it works is when you roll with disadvantage, you roll 2 and take the lower. That's now your roll. Whenever you force a reroll and have to take the second roll, you're forcing that lower die to reroll, and then you take whatever the result is.
The
Weird.
result, the die of choice has been selected already, so advantage and disadvantage no longer factors.
Yeah, it's not a reroll the whole attack. It's rerolling that one die.
Huh. That is unintuitive.
There are a few things where rules interactions you have to take a minute and extrapolate.
And also, there's a certain amount of GM fee out because, like, whether
It's
or not
not-
you want to do
yeah,
that is.
that particular interaction is never explained in the book.
So I have crit you with this now. It's okay. It's only a dart. Only does a D4 damage.
No, that's 2d4 damage.
So 10 piercing damage with the dart.
You're not an orc, so it's not 3d4 damage.
Okay.
That is 10 damage.
How you doing?
I am at a certain hit point total.
He has taken 81 damage.
Is it 1?
I am at a certain hit point total.
As your GM, I need to know what hit point total you're at.
I will not say I have hit points. I am at a hit point total.
You have and hit point. Okay, alright, got it.
81 out of 82.
Kovar,
I would like to be next to him.
he is 90 feet away.
That is not a problem.
Okay.
Move 60 feet. bonus action dash for only half the speed I need to.
Rogues are great. Rogues are really great.
Also, I'm a centaur with a speed of 60 feet. I trot over. I could play the shenanigans of picking him up.
Just kick him in the face.
Or I could just punch him in the back of the
You don't have
head.
the charger feet, do you?
I'm a centaur, I automatically charge.
Yeah.
If I dash that turn.
Oh, you do?
As long as I attack with my hooves, I charge.
Nice.
It's.
I mean, the charger feet still helps because you use a weapon.
So you're just gonna start running, and you're not gonna stop running.
He just tramples you.
What's your AC?
13.
Guess what I rolled?
Because the girls start
13 exactly.
I hope it's not a natural 1.
No.
Okay.
But the rules start running and they don't stop running and they don't stop running.
It literally doesn't matter what you roll.
For posterity's sake, this is not a sneak attack.
Unless you do 100 damage in this
You
one.
take 9.
Ouch.
Are you out?
Yeah, he's at
He's
0.
unconscious.
Alright. So now I need to start making death saves?
No.
Unless
Unless you were trying to lethally knock him.
No.
Yeah.
That's why I punched him instead of hoofing.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I just run up behind him in the back of the head.
You're fine. Wow.
I walk up and
I,
retrieve my dagger in the dark.
I lift him up, tie him to a belt, a harness I have around myself, and keep walking.
I am now a holster goblin.
Yes.
There is a goblin holstered on the side.
I make sure that he's not have any, major bleeding.
Yeah.
That is a 23 medicine check.
Yeah, he's fine.
You bandage the wounds from the dagger in the dark.
So he's just.
Goblins are tough.
He's just unconscious.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying
He's
to
not
deal
bleeding out.
lethal
Yeah,
damage.
right,
You can heal him to restore him to consciousness if you want to.
I don't want to restore the conscious yet. Well, I mean, if he's. So if he only went unconscious, that might still be effective. If you'd have not killed him without.
Don't reincarnate me.
You can only get Arcana check if you want.
I'm just walking. I got a goblin in my belt and I'm walking.
Yeah. Anyone that wants to make an Arcana check.
14?
So are we going toward that?
Typically, mind affecting things stop.
Go away when
once-
they're knocked unconscious.
once you're
Okay.
unconscious, yeah.
He should be okay to wake up now. The knock to the brain should have jarred him out fine.
Would you like me to heal him?
He is fine where he is.
No, just. I mean, if you don't heal up. I mean,
You
but
just
he's
wanna
down,
carry him,
he's
don't
down
you?
to almost nothing. Until you run into any problems, he's going to be the first one out.
I will note that the wizard doesn't need to have a lot of stamina left, but enough to cast magic makes him an asset to the group.
Yes. He'll wake up on his own. I'm walking, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Okay. No, you guys have a little while.
So we're going toward the carnival right now.
No.
No.
We're not.
We're walking past the carnival.
Well, yeah, but we're going.
No, we're
that
going towards the
direction.
carnival. What are you
We're
talking
going
about?
That direction.
It
Yeah,
is,
'cause-
yeah, it is in the same direction.
We are
We're supposed to
moving
be going-
in that direction, but we are. Carnival is here. We're going this way.
We're past the carnival.
Carnival
Past
adjacent.
it.
Yeah.
Trying to
We're still
pass the
going that
carnival.
direction.
Yes.
So keep
We
an eye
are moving parallel to the
Keep an eye out is what Preston is saying.
Yeah.
I remain on full alert.
As you guys continue moving,
my
the
pocket
sounds of revelry get louder and more raucous. Some of you are reminded of the fact that Rakdos revels can last for days, or weeks, or months, or centuries.
It depends on the lifespan of the creatures reveling.
Basically,
Rick's Mahdi is still going.
Rick's Mahdi is still going. Yes. And after a few hours, you guys, the walls of this ravine slope down and open out into a larger, still city but field. This was probably like a park of some kind that had been constructed previous to being abandoned. And off to the north, you see a large black and red circus tent that is churning out lights and sound at a rate only Rakdos can churn out lights and sound. Sitting atop what is undoubtedly the corpse of a rubble hulk.
They killed the Rubble Hulk and then said, hey, let's have a party.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, they may have invited the Rebel Hulk to the party, and the Rebel Hulk just died as part of the party.
I mean, however you want to explain it.
Killing the Rebel Hulk was the party.
Killing the Rebel Hulk was the party.
This is just the after party.
It's the after party of the after
Well,
party.
I'm gonna be walking next to him, parking my party.
That's an actual song.
After the club is the after party. After the party is the hotel lobby. After that, it's down with Chris, and after that, say excuse me, guys. And after that, we go back to the room, and after that, say we'll leave real soon. And after that, it's like one more beer, and after that, just stare in the mirror. Sorry, it goes on for a while.
That is an annoying song.
Which one?
Yes.
The Lonely Island song, or the song that the Lonely Island song is riffing on?
The country one. The one I've heard.
Parking lot party.
Oh, Parking Lot Party. Yeah, that's the one the Lonely Island song is riffing on.
Regardless.
The after party of the after party is the parking lot party.
Yeah. Anyways. Go ahead and make me stealth checks. Everyone that's trying to
I am not very stealthy.
very quietly move past the Rakdos party.
I am moderately stealthy.
19.
I'm just a belt accessory.
We'll say you'll have advantage because of the bagpipes.
In that case, 26.
Bagpipes of advantage!
Natural 20.
Can I get these bagpipes of stealth advantage?
The bagpipes don't give you stealth advantage; they give their passive perceptions disadvantage, which gives you advantage.
Now I want
28. I'm a natural 20.
18.
18.
Natural 20 makes it 22.
20.
You still have to roll.
How? He's not even conscious.
He's not even. He's
Yeah,
begging.
he's saying-
No, here's the thing. The way that he moves determines how my limbs flail around and make or do not make
There's
noise.
a reason.
Oh, because your arcane awareness because of the magic.
Yeah.
Thankfully, with advantage, that was a 16, which is a 19.
Yeah, you're fine. That was basically a stealth check for your magical potential, because you still give off a magical image.
Yeah,
Not conscious.
Alright.
Because you can't not be magical. I mean, you can, but you don't have that spell active right now.
He doesn't have any spells active right now.
No.
Not that you know of.
Oh, I made sure you
Not
didn't.
that you know of, either, for that matter.
Mage armor doesn't care if you're unconscious. It's not a concentration spell. Anyways, it would be a really bad
mage
spell
armor.
if it was. It would be a horrible spell if it was a
Wow.
concentration spell.
I didn't do
I
that.
know you didn't.
What'd you do?
I didn't do it.
What'd you do?
I didn't do it.
What didn't you do?
The glue got loose on this miniature. It's at one of the points where it is supposed to glue together. It just decided to
alright.
stop being
The
together.
glue is loose.
All I did was
So,
look at this time.
The group of
That's enough, isn't it?
the group of you move on past
This
the
one just needs to be
carnival.
glued.
Okay, pass.
There doesn't seem to be any external reaction from the carnival itself. It does catch fire, but the bagpipes are still playing, so you're pretty
It was
certain
probably
that's part
supposed to
of it.
catch fire.
Yeah, you're pretty certain that was intentional.
Or if it wasn't supposed to catch fire, they just looked at it and went, eh.
It's a good aesthetic.
So the carnival is now on fire, but behind you, as you move on through what apparently has become some sort of park area.
Although it was a fresh tent that they just made out of a corpse, so it was probably intentional. You make the tent, and then you burn the tent down. The party goes until the tent burns down.
You don't need a tent to have a party.
No, but that's just your sort of, that's your, okay, time to move the party elsewhere.
There we
The
go.
tent burnt down.
It's the timer.
It's the timer. The timer on the party is the tent. You make a new tent, and then you party there until the tent burns down, and then you move to a new spot.
There's no party like a tent burning party.
And then you find something, you kill something, you make a new tent, and it starts over again.
So
Until you leave a trail of burnt tents in your wake.
you continue on through this park area. Give me survival checks. Anyone who wants to.
I can survive.
Anyone who can.
Quite the survivalist.
Anyone who is conscious and wants to.
26.
19.
18.
21.
27.
Who had the lowest?
18.
Was 18 the lowest?
Is that mine?
I guess 18 was the lowest.
Okay.
That's
Alright.
impressive.
So
The
you,
guy one's unconscious.
you as you're going, you notice that there are there seem to be tracks in the woods around you as you're moving along.
Carnival?
No, you're past the carnival. You're still heading due east. You know roughly the direction you need to end up. You need to end up in. You entered a forested area that was apparently at some point in time a park. And there seems to be evidence of humanoids maneuvering about in this area. Okay, as you pass it through. And as you're continuing on, you start to see spider webs.
When you say humanoids, what are we talking about? Like scale here, like
Like human size, human elf.
could be elves, could be humans, could be Vidalcan.
Yeah.
But we're not talking like not Loxodon or something.
No, not Loxodon or Centaurs or Minotaurs. You start to see human tracks and evidence of spider webs as you're coming through this forested area.
Okay. When you say spider
Are
webs,
these
are
real
we
thick,
talking?
or are they real huge
we talking
spiders probably, or-
Thick spider webs.
El
yeah.
Speedro Gigante?
Yes.
Cool.
Thick with 2 C's, spider webs.
Now I'm just imagining spiders wearing Speedos. Thanks.
El Speedo Gigante.
I don't even know how a spider would wear Speedos. Like, maybe they wear
Please get this image out
It's
of
a
my
unique
mind.
Speedo that has 8 leg holes.
Please remove this image from my mind.
It's a 8-legged Speedo that like has a crotch bulge anyways, even though they don't have crotches, and a hole for the spinneret.
That's the crotch bulge.
Well, no, the crotch bulge is separate from the spinneret. It's just between 2 of the legs, randomly.
We can.
I'd like to cast Cure Light Wounds on myself.
Sorry. That would be something that Restoration would have to do, or...
Is there an eye bleach spell?
I'm sure there is. Just fireball and just put it in your face.
Modify memory. You want modify memory?
Yeah, modify memory, that's it.
I want to forget the last 10 minutes.
I'm going to keep an eye out for.
Modify memory just to remove that mental image.
Yeah, exactly.
But then somebody says it and you have it all over again.
You gotta cast a 6th level spell again. It's like, nope, get rid of it.
I got rid of it. Got rid of what? That image. What? Spider and Speedo? Dead!
Beware giant spiders.
So are these webs flammable? Like, do they melt? Like,
Typically,
tinder
fresh
boxes?
webs don't burn so well.
Yeah, they don't. It
They,
does not.
they tend to melt though, don't they? I mean, are these like actual spider webs?
They tend. Yeah,
Heat, they'll
spider
melt.
webs can. Yeah, fresh
But
spider
they're
webs.
not like hyper flammable.
Fresh spider webs don't burn. They do melt. Old spider webs do burn, like when they get to the point of being cobwebs, they burn. These do not burn. They also don't melt. They glisten.
Made of metal.
Are they?
So
Basically-
spider webs created by magical spells are flammable, but actual spider webs are not.
They don't like resound with a metallic tink when you flick them. No, but they are hard. They're not. They are. They're also sticky.
Okay,
Stick to your
are they
fingers.
sticky too?
Yeah,
Like,
like
take a
stick.
stick.
Do we have
Stick
Phyrexian
to
spider
sticky
webs
stick.
here?
Yeah, it does stick.
Okay, it does stick.
It does stick. You stick.
Okay.
The stick sticks.
Okay, I spit on it. Does it drip off or does it stick? It sticks. Okay. Not fun.
And they
Heat.
glisten with a bronzy color.
Keep a lookout, I say as I walk making sure to be aware of.
Would you say the spider webs are a metallic color?
Sort of bronzy, yeah.
I look over at the druid.
Am I awake yet?
We will need this one, I say, holding up the limp goblin.
You hold it, you just hip bounce the limp goblin in
No.
his holster.
Pick up by the, like, just like this.
Just withdraw from the holster.
Like a wet dog.
You unholster the goblin.
Yes.
Do we need to use up all of our magic on
Alright.
getting it back? I can do a couple first level spell slots.
I'll do Cure Wounds at 2nd level right now.
2d8 plus your spell
That's a
slots.
D6.
I'll do 2 first level spell slots.
Okay, so
Cure
1d8.
Cure wound.
So 1d8 plus your wisdom, and then another 1d8 plus your wisdom.
Okay, that's 12.
Oh, good. There's your roll.
Oh, nice.
You get 20 points back.
So you're up 32 points.
I'm on 2 8s.
Cool.
As you wake up, I look at your face.
Ah, this is different.
You don't
he,
feel
he,
like,
he has a slight grin on his face.
you don't feel like you need to go to the colonel anymore.
Do you want to go to the circus?
Too samey, too predictable.
Insight. That's a 28. Is dude lying to me?
He seems to still be under the delusion that the Rakdos are predictable, but no, he's not lying.
Drop.
I sort of run my face over the new black eye that I'm sure I've acquired by now.
No, you got kicked in the back of the head. You're fine.
No, but he punched me multiple times in the face to interrupt my spells.
Yeah, that was.
I was in the back of the head. You got a lump right here.
You got a lump right here and a matching lump right here.
You are currently in a forest filled with giant spider webs.
Beware giant spiders.
Investigate the spider webs. 23.
They're an oddly bronze color and they glisten.
Yeah, actually, how
So,
natural
I'm
do
gonna
these
go
webs
ahead-
look?
Give me a,
Not.
give me a nature check.
I'm going to go ahead and first off, I'm going to take off the long coat and put it in my pack, and I'm going to use conjuration to conjure a long coat.
Oh.
So now the long coat that I'm wearing is made of magic.
Okay.
So it can vanish in case you.
And when you take damage.
Also because, you know,
If something grabs
every
it.
now and then
something
it'll
grabs
become a new color.
Technical dream coat.
And it does glow slightly of magic because that's the thing about them.
Yep.
They are obviously magical.
Yep.
Yeah. 11.
They
I don't know a lot about spiders.
They
apparently.
seem like oddly colored spider webs.
Okay.
Like you don't know what would make them this colored, but
But
So-
it could just be a weird type of spider.
yeah.
So the fabricate spell is choose raw materials you can see within range. You can fabricate a larger, smaller object contained in the 10-foot cube or 8 connected 5-foot cubes. I'm going to make a series of objects fabricated out of these webs. So
Okay.
I'm going to make like a bunch of various like maybe a sponge made out of it, a little set of cubes made out of it, make a sword out of it, just a whole bunch of various objects so I can
Okay.
test its properties.
All right. You turn a spider web into a bunch of other things. They look
What is the material like?
vaguely metallic and bronzy.
Hmm.
You choose one.
I'm going to go ahead and
I showed the stick that sticks to the.
No, I-
Yeah.
the long coat vanishes and I get a rag by which to grab the sword and whack something with it and see how durable it is.
So the sword flops as you pick it up. It's not very rigid at all. And you whack at something and it sticks to it.
Okay.
And so is the rag. You can't pull the rag back off.
That's why I conjured it. So I'm just going to start experimenting with what this is, how much it's changed from what I would expect a spider web to be.
It's infinitely more sticky than a normal spider web.
And it seems to be less...
And it's not at all melty, or like it's more durable and more sticky than a normal spider web. It's the reason why I keep using the term glistening.
Yes, because it's covered in glistening oil.
But it's not like...
Glistener spiders.
But it's not rigid like I would expect metal to be.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
And that's not just because it's like
They have Phyrexian
porous or
spiders.
anything.
It's a horrifying image, isn't it?
How hard is it to rip something off of these webs?
Impossible.
Really, I stick something to it and I can't pull it back off.
It would break before it would come off.
Yeah, like you break the thing before it comes in, before it would
So
remove
it's
the spider web.
Interesting.
That's what he's
Without-
discovering.
without
He
magic.
turned some spider web. He turned a spider web bit into like a sword and then smacked it. And it's just stuck.
And why I'm using magically summoned rags to touch everything.
Is there like black dust or dirt? I can get it. Okay. On one of the webs, just kind of cover it with dirt,
Okay.
and then hitting it with a stick, see if that sticks.
You know, it won't stick to the dirt. You know, the dirt once it's coated.
Right.
So if we can make a dust
So we
cloud.
coat it.
Kicking up dust is something the gruel can do, yes.
Might have to.
And the spiders, there's not like it's not thick right now. The spider webs are just sort of in areas. It seems like they get thicker the further you go through the wood.
That's not what we want to do, though.
But it's not super hidden, is it?
No, they're
The big problem is this is supposed to be a path for a caravan, and any of these webs being in the way is a bad idea.
Yeah. We have to find a way to get rid of them.
We found a way at least to move them.
Perhaps my thought would be that whatever spider made these needs to die before the webs will go away, especially if they're magical.
Yes, because
Are
they're
they
going to destroy
magical?
them.
Ritual cast detect magic.
They certainly don't look normal.
fucking magic, yeah.
I mean, considering that it is metal that has been so altered as to
Give me
act
an
like
Arcana check.
Ooh, that was a good roll, 26.
It's not transmutation magic.
Really?
It is magic that has transmuted the fundamental properties of the thing,
What kind of magic is it?
but it's not transmuted. It's not aligned to any school. It seems like this is. It's the web from looking at the spider webs and from analyzing it with your arcane sort of sensibilities. This is magical spider web that has been produced by a creature that has been altered, and is thus magical from the altered state of the creature.
Interesting.
So it's tied to the alterations to the spider web are tied to the creature that created it.
I'm gonna see how it reacts to dispel magic.
Sure. It doesn't. Spell magic doesn't do anything.
All right.
You would have to roll to see what
Similarly to how dispel magic doesn't really do much to magic items.
Okay.
It doesn't it's an innate. The magic of it is an innate property of the spider web.
So it doesn't seem like killing the spider would do anything to it because it's not really an enchantment.
I mean, it might, but if it does, you'd have to see the spider.
Are there cobwebs? Or is it all fresh webs?
All fresh web.
So it hasn't been here long enough to have any.
Or if it has, it hasn't decayed at all.
Yeah, either it hasn't been here very long, or
But there hasn't been any-
this web doesn't decay like the normal web.
But there hasn't been dust and dirt kicked up onto it. Like, if I look specifically at the parts that are around the ground, does it look like there's been any dirt that's been
Well,
kicked up
he's
around
kicked
it?
up some dirt on it. There is some dirt on the parts that are lower down to the ground,
Okay.
on like the larger, higher up.
Does it look like webs that are set to trap things specifically?
No, it looks
or
like
they're
it's just
trying to
been-
get- just
Just
spin it
travel
around?
Yeah, it looks like it's just been spun around and travel around.
So he thinks we might need to just kill whatever spider is spinning these.
Can I track the spider back to its? So, can I track this back to where the spider would be based on where the webs are?
Give me a survival check. You can try. You have a game that modifies your tracking ability?
No.
I do, yes. Yes.
I say looking at the ranger.
We can both try.
Whose job it is to track things.
Yeah.
What are your favorite enemies?
So I roll a 2. Monstrosities and beasts.
This counts as monstrosity.
Okay. And this is also in my favorite terrain too, so if that helps.
Yep.
So you should have advantage then.
I
think.
Let's look.
Where is it?
No one ever remembers what
National
favorite enemy or
Explorer.
favorite terrain do.
No, no one does. That's what D&D Beyond is for. D&D Beyond. Sponsor us, please.
As we aggressively plug.
Not
You need
spawn,
to-
but we want to be spawned.
You need to like print out.
Not Spawn. Wish Spawn, not Spawn.
You need to print out the logo, and every time you say it, just
Paying. No, you go to your D&D Beyond character sheet, you go to features and traits. Favorite enemy, you have advantage on survival checks to track. So you have advantage on survival checks to track, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them.
Also, when tracking creatures, you learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. In your favorite terrain.
Yeah, while
This
traveling
is-
and while traveling for a trip for an hour or
forest,
so.
grassland, mountains.
Yeah, it's the forest.
Okay. So I can do that.
Yep, and this is monthly, and this is a monstrosity. So
Okay.
So what does the ranger learn? What do your centaur eyes see?
So I got advantage on tracking.
Yep.
So, a little better anyway.
And he gets to learn the exact number, how far away these things pass through.
And their size.
And their size.
Or, there's only one, I think, so.
There might be more than one. That's what he can find out.
Yeah, that'd be relevant to know,
Is
actually.
tracking its own
Survival.
It's a part of survival, okay. So 17.
I got a 26.
it is his
Okay.
natural terrain, though, so he gets a little more information.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Actually,
He's capable of getting more
yeah.
information than I am.
You could, yes, you could absolutely.
So I can track it to where
You
it
can figure
goes.
out where it goes. Where based on the webs that's been laid out, you can figure out where the webs lead at the very least.
As a ranger.
As a ranger, you can do that. You also know that there are about a dozen of these.
okay.
How big are they?
big
They are large sized,
Large size.
large spiders.
And we are.
How long ago did they pass through?
That one's harder to tell because the webs don't seem to decay
Yeah.
correctly.
Right.
But they've been here recently. It's just like,
They all must have a web stuff, or they're probably not. They probably don't act like regular spiders,
no.
so they don't have to recycle them. Okay.
Yeah, there's about a dozen large spiders.
I could track this spider back to its lair.
Yeah. This one or this one or this one? How many different webs? There's a
How
few of
many?
them. About a dozen, give or take.
when are they grouped together?
Spiders are typically solitary, but I do not think that their animal analogies will give us any useful information.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You also notice, as a ranger, you also notice that there are elven tracks that regularly walk amongst the spider webs.
Oh, see, tracks. They look like elves.
There's elf tracks that are among these spiders. They're probably Golgari.
I look at this area. It's not rot infested, is it?
Nope.
It could also be Celestia.
I wouldn't put it too strongly into Selesnya to keep a farm of spiders, though.
Why not?
Spiders seem more like Golgari's thing.
I used to be part of Celestia. Would I know?
Yeah, that's for sure. Would the Selesnya keep a spider farm?
They would, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, for the silk. It's fine, though, because the dwarf's from Calavish.
Yeah, I know.
This is true.
18.
Yes, Selesnya do keep spider farms. And this actually does look like it was at one point Selesnya territory.
Okay.
More than Golgari territory. That being said, Selesnyan spiders are more likely to be in groups because they would have them for silk colonies, for silk farms. But Selesnya spiders also don't tend to lay really big, massive, obvious traps. They tend to be fed and thus don't hunt all that much. And so Golgari spiders are hunters. Selesnya spiders aren't. Typically, there's always variations, but
They could be Selesnya, but
I pull out
those spiders don't hunt.
Does this seem to match the description of animals gone crazy by that oil?
Possibly. All the things that the Civic were looking at were underwater
Okay.
creatures. But it does alter the behavior of creatures. So.
But beyond just the behavior, did it talk about any physiological changes, or was it just behavior?
Yes, most creatures tend to take. It turns creatures from organic to inorganic materials, and it also tends to make things glisten. Is the descriptor that keeps popping
Do these
up.
webs glisten?
Yes.
I light a fire under one. Does it produce that acrid, oily smell?
Yes, it doesn't burn, but it does produce a smell.
I extinguish it. These have been infected with that strange oil the Civic were studying.
Lovely. Shall we find it and kill it then?
No, it's not a it.
There's a bunch
It's
of
them.
Well, we can
Shall we
start-
find them and kill them?
we should start
We're
going.
going
Yeah.
to need to.
Because if the convoy's going, we're going to have to either kill them and clear the way, or find a way to detour the convoy around it. So, I don't think the convoy's going to want to detour it.
Let us go hunting.
Let's go hunting.
Right.
Can we set up traps with them?
You'd like to ambush the
How
enemy?
big of a spider would
Ambush
this have
spiders.
to be? I mean,
They're
how
large
big around
size.
were the webs again?
They're
Very
large
large.
size.
They're large-sized spiders.
Yeah.
No, large, mechanically large.
Like 10 foot tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger than you spiders.
How big around were the webs? Like tree trunk sized, or
Yeah.
large branch? Oh, like yeah, big around.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like branch size.
The ranger knows that they are large mechanical spiders.
Like mechanically large spiders.
And
Bigger
large
than you
mechanical spiders.
Yeah.
So we're talking
No,
spiders
not
in the...
mechanical. Phyrexians are not mechanical. They're metal, but not
Right.
mechanical.
Living metal.
Yeah.
we're talking 10 to 15 foot spiders.
They're T1000 spiders.
Wait,
Wearing Speedos.
spiders. Arnold Schwarzenegger with spider legs is wearing a speedo.
Made of metal and glistening.
That's what the T1000 was. It was the liquid Terminator.
I begin tracking the ambusher,
Oh no. Oh, I was supposed to give it to you.
while keeping a careful lookout for trappage.
Alright.
Trappage?
Trappage.
You said a V. You know,
It sounded like a bee to me. I was confused, but I was like,
Crabbage.
okay, whatever. Trap-inch.
Crabbage.
Crabbage. Rock lobster. You hear the sound of rock lobster coming from the Rakdos carnivals.
Now that sounds like a good time.
I'm just imagining a demon singing that song now, but it wasn't a rock.
Anyways.
Oh, demon B-52s.
So I'm also going to resummon the long coat, and then with it, very long gloves, so that if my hands accidentally run into this thing, I can just magically unsummon them.
The Gruul goblin starts to look more like a Simic goblin.
That's a good idea.
As I make sure that all of my everything that I'm wearing out on the outside is immediately disposable.
Like, cover
So,
yourself in diapers.
You're following. You eventually you track. Are you guys trying to move quietly, or are you just
More like covering myself in tearaway pants.
Yes, quietly,
Quietly.
observantly.
stealth
Breakaway
checks?
outfit.
Because it's like a breakaway outfit, except as soon as it breaks away, it also like starts to
Vanishes.
dissolve into the air.
Man, professional wrestlers would love that.
28.
Just like imagine the professional wrestler with like the breakaway pants that just immediately vanish after they've been torn off.
16 perception?
Yeah, but yeah, not 16.
You
No,
need
stealth.
Oh, stealth. I can hear.
Stealth.
18 then.
19.
3.
19.
Double
You're
her.
on your own.
So, most of you are moving quietly through the woods. 2 of you stumble. I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Avoid the webs.
The Minotaur and
I don't know how we're gonna get you down.
16.
Should fall into a web.
Saving throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay, advantage on dex against what you can see while you're...
Right. Danger sense.
You can see it. Danger sense is applied.
Wow. Danger sense did not help.
That's a 5.
So Ari, you stumble in a ditch and catch yourself before it throws you off.
Okay.
Kovar, not Kovar. Yes, no. Kovar.
I'm Kovar.
You're Kovar.
Garrus.
Garrus.
Favorite spot in the Citadel.
Yeah, thank you. Favorite spot of the Citadel.
That's my name now.
Garrus, you stumble in a ditch on something, and as you look to see what it is you stepped on, you fall horns first into a spider web.
Well, this is now your favorite spot in the Citadel.
And you just sort of slam, and so your horns and your left arm are also stuck in the web. You are currently restrained. And you are stopped here. And you feel and you feel the spider web start to vibrate.
I think I found one.
I look at the small goblin. Does your grease work on this?
That's exactly what I was about to attempt. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and try to cast
You can
grease.
make me an athletics check to see if you can go for it.
Before or after I cast that?
Either time.
I'll go ahead and cast it.
Do I see the spider web vibrating?
Mostly because he's pulling on it, yes.
Okay.
I conjure 4 giant poison snakes.
Athletics, you said?
Okay.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah.
At 25.
You pull, and it bounces you back.
Wouldn't his hair be able to tear
His horns
his
and stuff.
fur?
My horns.
Okay.
So what you're saying is it's inescapable for him.
We're supposed to break that
What
horn
was
off.
that roll? Was that a natural 20?
It was
Was
19.
That,
It was a 19.
Yeah, not with a 19. It's not.
I'm going to begin watching up and down that web line, seeing if it's connected to anything.
Okay. Is anyone else trying anything else? Look? Anybody looking in the ditches that they stepped in?
So,
I'm looking out for spiders.
Your perception check.
Basically,
They're looking for spiders. Give me perception checks.
I'm spider hunting.
21. Oh, wait, sorry, I was 8. I'm actually...
And those of you that are trying to figure out how to get him out of the web, what are you doing?
I'm not pushing.
I need to see how long this takes. This is a 10-minute casting time.
Just concentrate on that. I'm gonna send the snakes are gonna. I'm gonna be looking where the spiders coming.
Okay.
Coming from and send the snakes.
Give me a perception check.
Who?
Give me a perception check.
Perception.
Perception.
Oh, there's no.
I'm not fishing. Okay, so 21.
17.
29.
29.
That's a natural 20.
21, 29. And what are you doing, Justin?
I'm going to go ahead and temporarily join in the observation here because the only spell I can think of is fabricate to try to turn the web into something else somewhere else to get him out, but that takes 10 minutes. So I want to see if spiders are going to ambush us while I do that.
Well, I
That was
was
a 10.
looking for spiders, but I rolled a 9.
All right. You see no spiders. There are no spiders in the area.
Alright.
The others of you, what'd you get? 10. You also see no spiders. The other 3 of you see spiders. There are spiders. It seems like as soon as something got caught, it just vibrated along, and there are currently spiders heading towards you. You can't see them, strictly speaking, but you can see the webs around you beginning to vibrate very slightly as things are moving along them.
I envenomed the dagger.
So,
And it seems like they're coming from all around.
Okay.
In one direction.
Okay, so this one is split up.
Okay. And you sort of like prepare to ambush spiders.
Yeah, just try to eat
I,
spiders. That's what snakes
so
do.
could minor conjuration
Let's go ahead and
conjure?
conjure real quick.
Alright.
While you're asking the question.
Could minor conjuration conjure acid, or conjure acid that would warp?
No, not that one.
Okay.
It disappears when it deals damage.
Okay. So I've got that little vial of, I assume, acid stuff from.
Well, acid asterisk?
Yes, the acid asterisk.
Yeah.
Does it look like Phyrexian oil? Real quick.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead.
You also have had it splashed on you before.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of that to try to.
Whoever got that ring, by the way? Anyone? Or you still
what?
onto it? The signet ring.
Oh, he has.
You had it, but did
You
you ever
still
give it to
have-
anybody?
No, he's.
What's it?
You found a
The
civic
signet
signet ring. It lets you cast. It has 3 charges. It regains the 1d3 charges every day at dawn,
Give it to
and you can spend a charge to cast Expeditious Retreat from it.
Because that just gives you movement speed, right?
Yeah, it lets you.
No,
lets
it
you
lets
dash
you
as a bonus
dash as
action.
a bonus action.
Alright.
So it's useless to me.
It also
Yeah.
lets you dash when you cast it.
So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of that acid to sort of melt away a little bit of the.
First roll initiative. So,
Cool.
Initiative.
what do we get?
16.
16 on Johnny. Kovar.
10.
Ari.
19.
Rasmus.
16.
Garrus.
21.
Your agility
Rusty.
probably higher than mine.
21.
What's your dexterity?
Let's see.
Mine's 12.
18.
Alright, you go
I'm
first.
still in the Warcraft mindset. I'm just using agility instead of dexterity. Doesn't help that I'm using that for my Warcraft.
Unless a natural 20 counts for anything,
It's kinda
but
long.
I don't think it
There's
does.
some decent progress.
Okay. What's your dex?
Oh, 12.
Preston. You and your snakes are first.
Okay.
So the snakes are currently sort of stationed at angles.
Yeah. There's like whatever snakes. they
Whatever
see.
comes first? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just notch an arrow and shoot
Hold
whatever.
direct or shoot?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you prepare. Is there a bonus action? Like, do you want to prepare a lightning arrow or anything?
Uh,
Okay. Or staring straight
I've got to see if first.
all the
Slayer
shot
Prey.
spells. Yeah, all the shot spells.
Oh,
are
the
bonus
shot
actions.
spells. Yeah, I got to see since
It's
I'm
like
first.
there's a conjuration spell.
Alright. That's your turn. Immediately after you take your turn, you hear the clittering and chittering of 12 bronze-looking spiders descending from the trees around you. They're skittering along the webs, dropping down from the boughs, just completely surrounding the group of you. So you go ahead and get your shot off, and these snakes get attacks.
Okay. 24 to hit.
That hits easily. I hope so.
11 damage.
Alright.
Except for 1.
Yeah, you hit one. And snakes.
Well, that one didn't do anything. That got a natural 1.
Snake misses.
Like the swinging.
24 to hit.
That hits.
And their damage is 1d6. 1d6 piercing and 2d6 poison with.
If it was a laser line, you would be going
Is
this.
11.
DC 11.
Is the giant poison 6 from the
Yep, giant poison sticks, they get a plus 6 to hit. They deal 1d4 plus 4 piercing damage, and the target must make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 poison damage. On a failed save or half as much as successful.
Okay.
So you roll 1d4 plus 4 plus 3d6. And then
1d4 plus 4.
yeah.
Ooh,
Saving
8.
throw. They made the saving throw, so they take half 3d6.
Okay. So 8 on the 3d6.
Yeah.
Nine. So half of that is 4. Okay.
Alright. Is that all the snakes?
That's 2.
So 3 and 4.
21 to hit.
That hits.
That's 8 damage on that. Oh, wait. And poison is 13.
Failed saving throw, so it takes all 13.
Snakes are dangerous.
They giant poison
That's why
snakes
I
are
told them
they're only CR 1/4,
Yeah.
but they can be very dangerous in large numbers. CR is less of a less of a linear challenge than it used to be. Like it's they low CR enemies can still be very challenging, can still be very deadly, regardless of your level.
Does 16 hit?
16 does yes, that's it.
Because the only things that change as CR increases primarily are how
7
much damage they
piercing.
can output and how much damage they can take.
7 piercing damage. 10 poison damage.
Failed that save. So, okay. One of the snakes just like lampoons into a spider web. The other 3 latch on to spiders, and then you shot a spider. Their turn though.
Okay.
They descend. Two on each of you actually.
Oh, we got all 12 of them.
Yep. You were heading towards there.
We also there's Selesnian.
Yeah. And looking at them, Ari, they do look like they have the markings of Selesnian spiders, but they're made of this odd metallic substance. It's the same substance that spider webs are made of. And they have that circle with a line through it, sort of painted on their backs, over top the Selesnian symbols. All right. We'll start. We'll go around left to right. Shani.
Yes.
You've got 2 on you. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Alright, so 1 misses, 1 hits. You can make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this against poison?
Yes.
I'm immune to poison.
Not this one. This ignores immunities.
Do I still have my advantage?
You still have your advantage though.
Do I still have my resistance as well?
Yes, you still have your resistance. You just don't have immunity.
19.
Alright, you take. That's a good. You take 4 points of damage, piercing damage. 4
Okay.
points of piercing damage. And you succeed the saving throw, that means that this would hurt a lot more. So instead, you just take 6, 8, 1, 3, 7, 10, 18 divided by 2, half of 18.
So 9, and then half again for resistance.
Yep.
So round up or down?
Down.
4.
So you take 4 points of poison damage
Take 8 damage total.
as one spider bites you. And you feel this burning sensation. This like acrid. If you could apply a feeling to it, it would feel like, if you could apply other senses to it, it feels like that smoke smell as it bites into you.
Because the poison is nanobots.
That's unfortunately accurate.
Kovar,
Phyrexian oil is a nanomachine, son.
does a 22 hit you?
Oh yes.
Does a 9 hit you?
No.
Okay, so you also want to make Constitution saving.
I'm good at those. Except when I roll a 3.
You take 12 points of piercing damage, and you roll a 3. What's the total value?
Total value for that is 6.
Okay.
Rogue, I'm not proficient in those.
Alright. You take 22 points of poison damage.
If dwarves are resistant to Phyrexian oil like they are to other poisons, they should be the forces that are fighting Phyrexia.
You take... Yeah, they're resistant to it, but...
Not immune to it.
But immune to it. You take...
I also don't think the Phyrexians ever gone to a plane that has dwarves on it.
There are dwarves on Dominaria.
Yeah, they've been to Dominaria. You take 22 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And you feel wrong. You are currently under the poison status. If you give disadvantage on all attacks, saving throws, ability checks.
Attack rolls, ability checks.
It's just attack rolls, ability checks.
Okay.
If it made your saving throws worse, it'd be way worse.
It would be. Alright, 2 on Ari. Does a 23 hit you?
Yes.
And does a 16 hit? No, sorry, does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Alright, you get 2. I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws. Okay.
And 18.
Okay, you're good. You take 11 points of piercing damage. And 16 points of poison damage. So, sorry, that's actually reduced by half, so that's 8. And then you take, for the second bite, 7 points of piercing damage. And 20 points of poison damage reduced by half, so 10.
Real bad time to not have steel and strike prepared.
2 attacking the Minotaur, but have advantage because the Minotaur is restrained by the web. Wow! The second attack, even with advantage, the highest attack was a 6. The first one definitely probably bit you with a 23.
Yeah.
But the second one, I rolled a 2 and a 3. Alright, need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And Razgate, 2 are attacking you as well.
I have 13 AC.
They both hit you. I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, you're down.
And
I'm not bad at these.
Preston does a 15 hit you. They both miss you. You're the only one that that didn't get hit at all.
That's a 10. I'm supposed to be good at these saves.
10? Alright. So that's a failure. What'd you get on your 10? You get
11 and 6.
The 11 makes it, the 6 does not.
Question. From where we're standing, by the way, when they approached us, were we in, am I close enough to anybody else to be flanking a spider?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm flanking something?
Yeah, you can definitely flank
In
something.
that case, I'm totally uncanny dodging that attack.
Which one?
The one that hit me.
Okay, so that would take
Half the damage.
So you reduce your damage by half, yeah.
Cool.
And that
Why
reduces-
did the flanking matter to you then?
Well, because I might want to use my reaction to move.
Oh, okay.
To skirmish something, but...
Sorry, a little bit. That's what you do. So you failed one, made one, you failed one, and one got hit by one. So, all right. I take 3 points of piercing damage, Garrus, and 20 points of poison damage, and you are poisoned currently. Now I'm a complicated one who failed one, succeeded one. 12 points of piercing damage. We'll do the failed one first.
Yeah, that's the first one. My green is my primary die, so that's the one I failed.
And 15 points of poison damage. You should still be up. but
Still
you
up
are
at 5.
currently poisoned.
Still up at 5.
Uh, 7 points of piercing damage.
I'm down.
You are down and poisoned, which has effects. Anyways, that's the end of their
Am I
round.
about to be a techno zombie?
Okay, that makes it. Garrus's turn.
And my coat vanishes.
Say coach or coke?
Garrus. So you are half stuck in this coat. There are 2 spiders.
I know you had one.
Okay.
Your speed is 0 and you have disadvantage on your attacks.
Who's in the coat?
So advantage with the coat.
I'm going to go into a rage.
Alright.
For bonus
Actually,
action.
no, it doesn't vanish. It doesn't say anything about me being around or doing anything.
Concentration spell?
Minor conjuration. It's just it disappears after an hour.
I feel like it would
when
have
you use
taken
it
damage
again.
if you were bit through the coat.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. So unless they like bit me directly on the head.
I mean, you did fail that one save. Maybe they did. It's just like a
spider teeth just in the forehead.
I mean, I rolled a 2.
Just a head gets swallowed whole. Stuck in a spider's mouth.
I need a spider hat.
Spiders don't have those kinds of mouths. They drink blood.
This one spontaneously grew a mouth.
It is
It's a robot
correct, yeah.
spider.
And I will go after the one that hit me. That succeeded the fight.
Okay.
So
Are you recklessly attacking?
No.
You just have disadvantage.
Yep.
But reckless attack gives them advantage to hit you.
They already have advantage.
They already have advantage,
that's
so there's no reason not to.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Reckless attacking
get
will
rid
give you
of
a
it.
flat roll.
Get rid of disadvantage. Then.
They already have advantage against you. You may as well go all out.
Yeah, might as well.
We're already living that life.
Not with that. Well, so that's a. What is that? 12.
That's a miss. Impressive.
Second attack.
It's impressive for a barbarian to miss these guys.
I mean, barbarians aren't any better hitting than any other class.
That's better.
Well, yes, but for a class that is designed around hitting things, it's impressive to miss these guys.
I mean, every class has the same to hit.
26.
That is. Yes, but if a wizard tries to hit you with a stick, it's less
No,
impressive
they
for them
use
to
their
miss.
spells.
That's what I mean. Like a barbarian hitting these guys with a stick. That's the thing they do.
That is 5.
5 damage?
Yes.
Is that counting your rage damage?
Does rage increase?
Yeah, rage gives you additional damage on melee attacks.
Doesn't matter what your intelligence score is. If you have a low intelligence score as a wizard, you can still kill things with magic missile.
It's true. Magic missile is the ground leveler of magic spells.
Okay, yeah.
Even a bad
so,
wizard can use magic missile.
So yeah, and then what did I say? 3. So that's 8.
I actually love that idea now, just like the wizard who uses all the spells that don't rely on their intelligence because they're actually not a very smart wizard. So magic missile, shields, misty step, stuff like that.
Just thinking.
It's all like
an
beneficial-
abjuration wizard.
an abjuration wizard or a beneficial utility wizard.
What system was it where I built that? Fantasy Age.
Yeah.
I had a wizard with like 0 willpower. I just like all the spells are like don't care what willpower is.
Ari. Ari.
That would be a wizard with less than 10 intelligence.
I would.
You can still do that as in 5e as a wizard with less than 10 intelligence.
Really? It doesn't require a certain skill.
You don't require any amount of intelligence
I
to
want to
be a wizard.
Above 2.
Yeah, more
Cast a spell.
Yeah, no.
You have to have more than 2 intelligence to cast a spell. That's the limitation.
You have to be smart enough to form verbal components.
I want to use flame blade.
Okay.
Magic also has a verbal component.
Yes, it has verbal
You erupt a scimitar of fire out of your hand and get an attack with it. So.
But ice knife.
Ice knife does not. Ice knife just has static.
So you cast that with 1 intelligence.
You've been feeble-minded, but you can still ice
20.
knife.
Feeble mind specifically.
Since you can't cast spells, yeah.
20 to hit? Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
No, more so I'm just imagining that some guy with like a pet spider got really obsessive over his magic and he taught his spider how to cast ice knife.
22.
His spider leg goes out and ice knife launches.
Does it not add your ability modifier?
Oh, it doesn't.
Or is it just a
Say
flat
it
40?
was.
Okay, it's just
Yeah,
flat
yeah,
46.
just
Okay.
says
There's,
40.
there's a minimum intelligence required to
There's
multi-class
also a
into wizard,
D10 that it does.
but there's not a
With the
minimum
initial
intelligence
attack.
required to be a wizard. As
Ice
a
Knife
class.
has two different components. It has
You
a
can be-
No, we're talking about
throw.
flame. We're doing
sorry.
flame sword.
Flame sword.
Flame
Sorry.
blade.
They were talking about Ice Knife, and it completely threw me onto a different spell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Flame Blade.
How much damage was it?
It was 22.
Yeah. No, Flame Blade does not add your ability modifier. It just does a buttload of damage.
Yeah, because it just says 46.
Yeah. Unless you cast it at 4th level, and then it's
5d6.
5d6.
No, I cast it at 5th level. And it's.
You cast it at 5th level?
Yeah.
Then it should be 5d6.
No, it says.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, it starts at 3d6. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
It starts at 3d6, and then an extra one at 4th level.
Okay.
You could have cast it at 4th level, so that would affect rather than using the spell slot. Because every 2 levels above 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
So just swap out one of those spell slots.
You can also just click cast. Okay, you can do that too.
Nice. Yeah, you can toggle. There's many different ways you can use DD. It's for whatever your preference is. DD route response first.
Non-existent sign.
Alright. That makes it Shawnee.
So, am I flanking any of these fighters with other people?
Yes.
I will stab the ones that I'm flanking with the dagger of venom.
The other person?
Shankerdoodle.
So you're shaking one with
Or that will be +9, 21 to hit. And it needs to make a DC 15 Constitution save. That way Shank is.
It failed.
Yay! So that'll be 10 piercing damage, and then 2d10 points of poison damage, and it has the poisoned condition now. I can do this too. It is. That will be another.
Another one of these that's run dry.
Yes.
That will be another 14 points of poison damage.
Well, I'm not sure they're in here.
The spiders themselves aren't sticky, correct?
No.
Okay, so I can stab it again.
So you stab into it, rip the blade back out. It's still up.
Shank it again.
It doesn't have to be the same color.
Oh, no, I'm trying to find. I have a whole bunch down here, and I cannot remember what I did with them.
Dry erase marker?
Yeah.
I have one to use right now.
Rudy always comes prepared. Rudy, do you also
Mage
have
hand.
a flamethrower?
It's a good thing I missed
If I need
because
it.
it's another race without
Not right now.
Did you roll to attack?
Yeah, it was over 20. I just
Yeah.
I'll have to use a makeshift one.
8 points of piercing damage.
You're not.
Just
Alright, it's dead.
lighter,
You killed one.
lighter and
Yay.
And hair,
Two stabs, I killed
hairspray, that's
And
not
then with
hair.
my bonus action, I will spend a key point to dodge,
Lighter
and
and
because
brighter.
I dodge, I can expend the hit die to regain hit points.
When I was in middle school, so it's different.
That makes it
I regain all the hit
With
points
a
I
hair
lost.
dryer.
Razgun. Roll me a death saving throw.
That sounds like fun.
And tried to make
That sounds like a fun thing to fail.
One failure.
Yes.
Alright. Kovar.
Alright, so I'm flanking one of these dudes.
Yeah.
I would want to
Actually, no,
report
you're
a
not.
failure.
The one you're flanking just
I
died.
cannot report a failure.
Is there no other one I'm flanking?
Not right
that
now.
was
It's
kind
on the
of.
other side of it. You can move to
Okay,
flank one.
I just can't see it, but it is recorded.
Would I be near... Could I move to flank one and be near him?
It is there.
Yeah. We'll say he's over by... He's probably over by...
Cool.
Because the two of them were messing with spider webs. So.
I'll do that thing, and then I'll shank one of these dudes.
Yeah. Alright. Go check it in. Though you don't have to be flanking to get sneak attack because they have ally. you have
Yes,
alpha,
but
you have
I'd
ally.
like to not have disadvantage.
It's true. Yes. You do need to flank. Oh wait, no, that's right. You do need to flank because if you have disadvantage, it means you can't do sneak attack at all.
Yeah.
Right.
28.
Hits. Kill the spider.
I'd like it to make a Constitution saving throw.
Why?
Because I wanted to. I don't have an actual reason. I didn't say make one, I said I'd like it to.
It made one. I don't have to tell you what it did do because it does not make a DC. It made its DC of 0.
And if it had failed the DC of 0?
That would have been impressive.
36 damage?
You can't do that if you have a really bad con save.
Good deal.
You just annihilate one.
Right in the face.
I like the idea of asking someone with a negative modifier to
And
make
then I would
DC
like to
0
put
checks just to see
Razgun
if
in
they
my
can perform
pocket
basic
to keep him
tasks at
safe.
times.
You grab Razgun, put him on
I put him in the goblin.
In the
I
goblin
still have the goblin holster.
in the goblin holster.
Can I reach that goblin holster or not?
Like,
As you stab these guys, as you stab and rip into them, you notice that greenish blood comes out.
Okay.
It's not boiled.
like someone has like intelligence of 6, make a DC 0 intelligence check to properly count things.
Yeah.
Though, since I am sort of a utility-esque ranged magic caster,
Alright. That
Can I
makes
just-
sense.
always riding the goblin holster into battle, this seems like a better strategy.
I mean, you'll be closer to the melee attacks if you do.
Yeah.
I'll be closer to people who are being grappled. I'm not as scared of
You
people
realize
being
that
grappled.
grappling in Palos is absolutely no penalties in this edition.
Yeah, it just hooks you on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It does reduce their speed to 0, but
Yeah, but it doesn't. It somehow doesn't stop an archer from shooting me in the face.
well, yeah, because grappling is I've got you here.
Please shoot a bow at me while I'm holding you by the
If
scruff
I'm
of the
good
neck.
enough, I can.
I mean, in melee you already have disadvantage for range attacks for being in melee. So.
Yeah, they already have disadvantage for being. They have disadvantage for just being in melee with you. By the way, it's your turn. If you try to shoot your bow, there are people in melee.
And you having a hand in their
Just
shirt would not
this,
make that any worse than it already is.
Maybe he picked
Just
up, can I
wrong,
still-
but
Can I
okay.
still reach him?
I mean, yeah, he's right next to you.
To do a heal?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one of those instead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna use. He's poison too. I'll use a second level slot to try to bring him back. 11 points restored.
You have 11 hit points. You're still unconscious and paralyzed, though.
Yes,
Okay,
Spider-Man.
but he's
Not bleeding out anymore.
yeah, but he's still poisonous.
You have 11 hit points, but
At
you are
least
still
at least he
unconscious
doesn't
and
have
paralyzed.
this. Try to do a second work. And snakes.
Okay.
Do what they do.
One of them has disadvantage because he got stuck in the webs for that natural one.
Okay, alright. He's, he rolls an 18.
That hits. Still hits.
Hot damn. Okay, so, piercing, 7 points of piercing.
Failed saving throw, failed saving. The first two failed saving throws.
Okay, 14 poison. And 7
Dead.
piercing. That one's gone.
Dead. Absolutely dead.
Second.
These things are dangerous, but they're fragile.
Yeah.
I hope so. 12 doesn't hit.
That's typically the way that 5th edition combat is balanced towards.
12 misses.
Really was a bad day to not have Steel Wind Strike prepared.
Third. 15?
You seem to always have that prepared.
No, 15 to hit.
Oh, to hit?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
okay.
hits, sorry.
That hits, okay.
What was the second one?
Why would you
David?
not
The second
have
one.
Steel Wind
Oh,
Strike?
second one.
That's
Because
why.
I was trying to
Sorry,
find
I heard hit and then 15. It's like, damn it. Wait,
Don't
what?
talk to that.
GM gets distracted easy.
5 points of piercing,
Okay.
8 points of poison.
Failed saving throw, so.
Okay.
What was the second one? Oh, that was the third one.
That was the third one.
That one's dead.
Oh, okay. 4. 20 to hit.
That hits.
I hope so.
Everything's very navy blue right now.
Let's get some higher rolls here. 6 piercing.
What's
Not
navy?
Navy
10
blue.
poison.
Dead.
Whatever.
Spiders have
What's
killed
navy?
3.
Her entire
Sorry,
outfit is just all
snakes have killed
very,
3.
very
Okay.
similar color.
Alright.
There's no navy in it, though.
Yes, I used the wrong term.
One of them is still
It's not
stuck
navy,
in
but
the
it's
webs,
blue.
though.
Yes, it's all very
One of the
similar.
one is stuck in the web is now no longer able to hit
Blue,
anything.
double
The
G, double
spider
I.
was attacking is gone.
Okay.
All right, spider's turn.
Spider's turn.
How many are left?
7.
Good.
Oh, yeah, you were wearing a different shirt when you were over.
Alright, they shift around. The two that were attacking Razgun flank and attack you.
Please don't come at me, bro.
They are coming at you, bro. Does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
And does a good thing they have advantage. Does a 18 hit? I'm sorry, does a 19 hit you?
Well, if the 15 hits me, one might
Always
deduce
wanna ask.
the
Always wanna-
19.
Never know what might have changed.
Well, maybe he has an AC of 14
I need to make 2 more
minus
constitution.
19.
I need 2 more constitution saving throws.
Cool.
So you have an
Don't
AC
fail
that's
both.
just totally normal, except some random window in the middle there. You just
Pardon?
I said don't fail both.
Why not?
Don't fail both.
Okay. What if I fail neither of them?
What'd you roll?
19 and 17.
You're good. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to worry about the damage. 9 piercing damage. And 16 poison damage. Reduced by half, so that's
8.
So 9 and 8. And then 3 piercing damage. And 23 poison damage, reduced by half to 12. Or, not to 11.
So 14.
Yeah.
Let's uncanny dodge.
Alright. And they're going to fight. Oh, did you ever do your. No, you cast Code.
Yeah,
They're going to continue attacking Ari. But I think both. No, you killed. You didn't kill one. Did you? No, you didn't kill one.
I did 22 damage. I don't know
You
what
did 20
that
damage
is.
to one. Yeah. So they're still up.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit you? Or 16 hit you? Sorry.
Oh, yes.
16? Alright. And that's 20. So, alright.
Most everything you roll is going to hit me.
So you make 2 constitution saving throws. Don't fail both.
Ah, 20.
Alright.
8.
Failed 1. Alright.
Oh, you don't have a con
I have
mod?
no con.
You have no con.
I have no con.
What's your con modifier?
You may want to shapeshift to have a hit point buffer.
Yeah.
You take 12 points of piercing damage. And 12 points of poison damage. And you are poisoned. That was the failed one. Yeah.
About to be unconscious.
Yeah, you're down.
Yeah, okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
successful.
Wait, how much
You
damage?
took
24 total.
The first one.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
You have 3.
But this next attack will just take
Yeah,
you
no,
down.
but I will be down. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 points of piercing damage.
There it is.
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm done.
And you are down, unconscious, and poisoned. You're in the poisoned condition. Alright,
I killed one of the ones that was on me.
Yep, so there's only one attacking you.
And it has disadvantage from the dodge.
Yes. An 11 misses you.
Yep.
Alright. And Minotaur. There are still 2 attacking you. But even with advantage, they rolled a 3 and a 1. And a 3 and a 7. An 11 doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
Okay.
So the Minotaur's doing fine.
Minotaur's doing fine. Stuck in the web and poisoned, but fine. Oddly.
Started off in the worst position, and I'm still.
Started from the bottom, and I'm still roughly in the middle. And 2 attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
That's
we're
it.
at
Yeah,
we're out
that's
of we're
it.
out of spiders.
That's it. Out of spiders. All right, Garrison.
All right. I'm going to
Swing the axe.
Smash the stake? Question mark.
Well, I'm gonna try, but
I wouldn't call the spiders a snake.
I mean, they will be after a bit more mutation.
all right.
State of being?
For my bonus, I'll activate.
I'm in
State of phyrexia.
I'm in
I will
a
activate
spider
frenzy
state of
attack.
mind.
Attack it.
With my bonus, I will activate a frenzy attack.
Okay.
So after this, I'll be able to attack.
State of phyrexia.
But you just decide that you frenzy. You
Yeah.
activate frenzy range.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So you get you use bonus action to frenzy range. You get 2 attacks, and then later on you go to bonus attack with that.
And for my attack, I will reckless attack
Okay.
to get rid of the disadvantage. No. That is a 10 on the first.
Having some bad times over here.
Alright.
Again, that's 10.
All right, you flail at the webs and
The spiders and the Minotaur are just having.
they're just having a.
They're doing a little dance.
They're dancing around each other. They're trying. The spiders are trying to keep away from the axe, and the Minotaur's trying to keep away from the spiders.
They're
But
just
the web
dancing
is
to
the
the
web is
distant bagpipe
preventing
music.
from getting much in the way of anything else. All right, that makes it Shani.
All right. Well, I've used the venom on this dagger, so it's time for quarterstaff.
Well, there's an injured spider by Ari.
Well, first they're gonna kill the one that's on me.
There's an injured Ari. Hi, some spiders.
Plus my quarterstaff attack bonus is just a +8. So 13 to hit.
13 hits, yes.
Yay.
They have an AC of 13.
Yes.
6 bludgeoning damage. I rolled minimum. 13 again. But I rolled 5 again.
Hits.
Much better damage. Sorry. 5 damage on that last one. And 12 damage on the second hit.
Okay.
And then we will...
Flurry of blows.
Yeah, let's flurry of blows.
Punch a spider to death.
For 25 to hit.
That hits.
9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And, hey, Molly Mock symbol. That's a natural 20.
Go ahead and roll your crit.
2d6s.
Oh, because your flare blows has to be unarmed strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we're talking about using your weapon. As
Yeah, I remember.
flurry of throws.
10 bludgeoning damage.
You kill it.
Yay.
Sorry, it was actually Ari's turn. Ari needs to make a death saving throw.
And then this.
Would you like to move over to her spiders to?
Yeah, and then I will move over to the spiders that are by Ari.
What do I roll for death save?
Flat D20, beat a 10.
Nope.
That's a fail.
Roll an 8.
One failure. Shawnee. Razgun, you're unconscious, but you're not bleeding out.
Cool.
And
So I don't come back up from healing automatically?
Nope. You are still unconscious and paralyzed because of poison. The poison status does not go away. The poison status does not go away when you get knocked out because you're still poisoned.
That sucks.
And spider venom, when you are knocked out while you're poisoned, you stay unconscious until the poison condition is removed or an hour has passed.
Nice.
All right.
That's one of the spiders are one of the many tools in the GM's kit to make battles even more dangerous because you can't just pop back up from them. And 2 of you were down poisoned. That makes it Kobar's turn.
Bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
Move action to run over and be on top of Shawnee, or not Shawnee, Ari.
Okay.
To
Also Shawnee, because Shawnee's there.
Yeah.
and flank with Shawnee to shank a spider.
Go ahead.
Uh, 16.
Hits. Sneak attack. Precision attack, we'll call it.
That's a number of 6s.
Backstab.
Backstab.
$33 damage.
You just kill it.
All right. I just like, oh my goodness. Stop falling over. Just run over. Just punch it in the face with a Maka tooth.
All right.
Turn to face the last one.
Preston, there are 5 left.
Well, the one that's next to me.
Yeah, the one.
Oh yeah, because there's 2 on him, 2 on him now,
Yep. 2 and 2. Yeah, because there were 2 on him.
and there's 1 on me.
Okay.
I mean,
So
they might
that's
choose to
all-
follow
that's
me,
fine.
or they might choose to stay with you. Or they might
They're still in melee with you though, so you still have disadvantage on attacks.
On attacks like that, okay. Disadvantage?
Or you can use a melee weapon.
No, I don't want to do that because I don't want to throw another one. Okay, disadvantage. I'm going to go ahead and shoot too.
Right.
I will get a damage. I missed that one.
You just shoot into the ground for some reason. You do the thing where you pull back, but it's not knocked properly, so it just falls out of the bow.
Falls out, yeah. Okay, second shot though. 21.
That hits.
Should.
It's really easy to do that in the thick of a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot. 6 damage. Is all.
Okay.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Now, is the snake that is caught in the web, is he close enough to anything?
No, you can't.
Because he's that would die.
Yep.
So the other 3 are can still do stuff.
Yeah, they can still move around.
Okay. Ooh, crap. One hits. The second one hits. The first and third don't. Let's see. It's just 11 misses. Okay. So okay, the only one of them misses.
Snakes suddenly stopped being.
They just started looking around.
It's like,
Hey,
well,
what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to
we
do?
killed 2, so.
Yeah, we
did it.
Or we killed 3. We're fine.
did as much as you could possibly hope for like a 3rd level spell.
5.
We got our money's worth.
5 piercing damage.
Okay.
10 poison.
I don't know, I could hope for a
DC on
fireball
the save on the spell.
I thought 11.
11. Yeah, no. So they made the save.
I mean, situationally though.
5, so 10
5.
total damage.
Half of this party has evasion.
Oh well. Shoot.
You mean 2 of this party has evasion?
Yeah.
That's
Fair
1/3.
enough. That's half of what's still standing.
Well, no. Barbarian has danger sense, which is pseudo evasion.
Yeah, it doesn't make them completely avoid the damage, but it makes them better at avoiding
Makes
it.
it better at avoiding.
Alright.
Oh well.
All right.
Is it time for the Speedo Spiders?
Now it's the Speedo Spider's turn. 2 of them are gonna. They're gonna bite the. 2 of them are gonna bite you.
Snakes.
They're gonna try to bite you.
Oh, come on, fight a snake.
But Preston hasn't been bit yet, so he's good.
I know. So, that's a 16.
13 misses you.
Good. Miss again.
A 18 though.
Ah, well,
They'll hit you.
I might feel that one.
Need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
As opposed to unconstitutional saving throws.
Those are cheating. 11? 12. 12.
So would those be like
12 is a success.
saving throws to usurp the government or something?
So you take 12 points of piercing damage,
Oh, shit.
and
No,
then
that'd
20
be
points of
felony. It
poison
wouldn't be
damage, but reduced by
unconstitutional.
half, so 10 points of poison damage.
So 22 total damage.
22 total.
Saving throws to retain your government position long after you should have been excised.
Saving throws to it's saving.
True.
Constitutional saving throws are. It'd be a save. No, judges would have to make those. It'd be
So
saving throw. It'd be a saving throw. It would be a saving throw v.
Versus like a lawyer's
Versus a defensive.
like
defendant's argument.
either deception or persuasion check,
Yeah.
depending on the lawyer.
Yeah, depending on if it's the defense attorney or the prosecutor.
It would be a constitutional or an unconstitutional saving throw, depending on
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it'd be a constitutional
prosecution versus defense.
It'd be a constitutional saving throw regardless, because it's your ability to judge the Constitution based on or the rule of law. Based
So
on the
it's
argument.
specifically for the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're the only one to make that. Anyways,
So it doesn't die.
so yeah, you took damage. The other 2 of them are going to continue trying to eat the Minotaur. That's better. 21. Or sorry, 23. And a 15.
That is.
All right.
But he's raging, so he takes half damage.
2 Constitution saving throws. Half damage from the piercing, but not from the poison. Constitution. 2 Constitution saving throws.
Come on, you're a barbarian. This is what you do.
That is a 23 for one,
That's the first one.
and that is another 23.
All right, you succeed both of them. So that's 10 piercing damage reduced by 5. Reduced to 5. 14 poison damage reduced to 7.
So even when they hit,
And then 11 piercing damage reduced to 5. That's better. That's better. That's better. 28 poison damage reduced to 14. And then there's one left over there to try to bite the centaur.
Centaur what?
Oh, look, a natural 20.
Good.
okay.
Make Constitution saving throw.
Does the poison damage get doubled?
Yes,
Yes.
all the dice get doubled.
Weird.
Anything on the dice. No
Any,
modifiers.
all dice rolled when you
Yeah.
make a successful.
Basically nothing in 5th edition makes sense to me, but natural 20.
Okay, yeah. Good. So, like, for paladins, their smites get doubled.
Also, uncanny dodge. Just in case that was not
yeah, okay.
immediately obvious.
Paladin smites get doubled. Rogue sneak attacks get doubled. If you critical hit on an ensnaring strike, or no, lightning arrow is a saving throw. On like an ensnaring strike, that gets doubled.
But if you do critical hit on it anyway,
And if you any or like the poison on the dagger of venom, that would get doubled too. But the static modifiers don't. Just the number of dice you roll.
It's basically the literal opposite of 3-5.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Oh, okay. Crit fishing builds are useful.
Yeah, it's also harder to reduce your crit range. 11 piercing damage,
Okay.
because even on the crit, I rolled crap.
I'm down.
And oh, you're down.
No. I'm down with you rolling badly.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. I'm still above half health.
Yeah, and so have that again. So that was.
Oh yeah.
you should say that you're up for it. So you can be both up and down for something. It mean the same thing.
Yeah.
40 points of poison damage, reduced by half.
Reduced by half.
And then reduced by half again. So
Cool. I am now below half health.
Good. The uncanny dodge helped.
Yeah, rogues are shockingly tanky.
Good at surviving.
Against one hit.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good at 1v1 because of that.
Yeah, they're really good at surviving unattacked.
Ironically, rogues are really good against other rogues
Yeah,
because of that.
yeah. Most classes are good against themselves. Anyways, that's the spider's turn, which makes it Garrus's turn.
All right.
Also, let's not forget, Shawnee, that the spider on us has way fewer hit points because it got flame sworded.
Yes.
Hey, I frenzied last time. That means I can attack on his opponent.
Yep.
So 3 attacks.
Okay. Yeah, the monk doesn't hit very hard, but makes so many attacks. It's very lovely.
Yeah. Pop, pop, pop. That's why the Kinsai is so much fun. Because it makes a lot of attacks with the
Well,
sword.
Great sword.
Or a great sword, yeah.
I do love Kensai. Kensai's use
Actually, no, you
greatsword.
can't use great sword once.
That's a
The
fairly
change
interesting
that they made
range.
to the Kinsai means you can't use the great sword. It does not have the heavy property.
Nice.
Okay.
Lowest, medium, and highest.
Does not have heavy or two-handed. So what'd you roll?
A natural 20 on 11 and a 1.
That's sad because I really like the idea that.
Only the natural 20 hits.
Okay.
That was an
Well,
11 on the
no,
die.
not 11
Oh,
on the
11 on the die.
11 on,
Oh,
it,
11
that would be a 17.
Okay, that hits. That was like. Okay, hits. 2 hits.
That's sad because I really like the idea of like the Kensai monks being like cloud because they're using greatsword.
Yeah, and you're a barbarian, which means that you have an extra dice on your crit.
Yep.
Yeah, they have to not have heavy or special.
Yeah. Which makes sense though, because you can't really deflect arrows with a greatsword.
Sure you can. You put it in the way with the flat.
Blocking.
Makes your step.
That's your static AC. Also, because then it gets broken, because then you're doing 2d6 4 times in a row.
Yeah, but I like the idea of the
opposed to
the Kensei with the greatsword being like clouds.
Well, I like the Kensei with the longsword because it's D10, and so it's you're two-handing a D10 as a katana, or you can two-up the fighter. Use like a weapon how she did it.
That's a 31 damage
Total. Both attacks.
for the first attack.
For the first attack.
Yep.
All right.
One of them's probably
Is he
dead.
hurt?
Yeah, he's really hurt.
And then
He's still alive though.
okay. Second attack is just a regular hit, so
Doesn't matter. You kill him. He only has 32 hit points. He had 32 hit points. Not 31 hit points.
okay. Okay.
You did include your rage damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Two tens and a what was it? A 6 on a roll.
Is a 6 had been or if the 10s had been rolled.
This is 5th edition, meaning it's not the 3.5. Let's this barely didn't kill. Let's look for all the floating modifiers.
I love floating modifiers. Floating modifiers are my
Oh,
jam.
actually, that was a 35.
Was it 35? Oh,
Yeah.
then I see.
Sit on the opposite end.
What? So is it like a jam modifier to your like AC?
That's why.
or-
That's why we need to. That's why we need to do the Pathfinder here because it's in the middle of those two things. There are still floating modifiers. There's not 50,000 of them.
The second is a 14 damage.
14.
Yep.
That will kill that one. All right. The Minotaur is now no longer dealing with 2 spiders, but it's still stuck.
Can I just use hammer and throw to just push it away? Just cause.
Sure. A spider comes flying out of nowhere at you guys. Hits the ground. Shani.
Well,
Oh, actually, oh, no, Ari, that's it. That's right, you haven't healed yet.
Okay, I made that one.
All right, so 1 success.
first off, flanking the spider with this thing. So, crunch. 23 to hit.
Mhm.
It should be dead.
Quarter staff. 10 bludgeoning damage.
Dead.
How many spiders are left?
2.
Go to flank one of them.
There's 1.
On him, I would do.
There's one on Preston, and there's one in the middle
There's
of the floor.
2 still on Preston.
There's 2 on Preston?
Yeah,
Go flank one. Go flank one, Preston. Second quarter staff strike.
A spider, because his snakes just fucked off, remember?
Right.
They didn't do anything last week there.
Natural 20!
Alright. Because the snakes just went like, nah, we've done our job.
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dead.
And then spend another key point for flurry of blows. As I move over to flank the last one, because I have 45 feet of movement. I got room to maneuver.
You're good.
Thank you, advantage, for not rolling a natural 1. 16 to hit.
And it's
And then I need to. It needs to make a. Let's make some form of saving throw. It's either a strength or a constitution.
for what?
For my open palm technique.
What is the effect?
It's going to be knocked prone.
So it's straight safe. I should know what DC is.
Yeah, strength saving throws. DC 16.
Roll a 15.
Knocked prone.
You knocked the spider off the web.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, no. You knocked off the web.
And then it also takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And my last one.
It's still up.
Oh, it's actually a dexterity saving throw to not get knocked prone. Yeah. And then 23 to hit.
That hits.
And then this one, it does need to make a strength saving throw or get pushed.
It doesn't matter. Your minimum damage is higher than 2, isn't it?
Yes.
It's dead.
Yeah. So I knock it prone and then I kick it into a tree.
All the spiders are dead.
Just football kick.
Dead spiders.
I'm gonna medicine check on Ari.
Okay, so it's your turn.
That's a 21 to stabilize her.
Yeah, you can stabilize her.
I'm gonna move these two together and set up healing spirit.
Okay.
Well, they are together because
I know,
I'm
you're right
carrying
there, but
one
I'm gonna-
and on
I'm
top
gonna-
of the
yeah.
other.
I'm just gonna go set that up.
So yeah, you set up
second
a
level.
You set up a healing spirit. So it will heal a d6 every 6 seconds. How long does it last?
A minute. So 10d6.
Full
Just roll 10d6.
So
for
roll
me.
So everybody heals 10d6?
No, no. Only the people that are in that
Well,
5
yeah,
foot
anybody in that
space.
5 foot space, everybody just crunch down.
Yes.
Get over top of everybody.
You'd have to pile up on top of each other. And,
I mean,
and
how much
actually,
of
no.
you-
Even
can.
then,
How much of you has to be
It's-
in there? Because
it's
otherwise we
literally
could
a-
just, you know.
We can all fit in a 5x5 square.
it's got to be in a 5.
So,
5 foot
I mean,
space.
so
it's
if-
not a it's not a 5 it's not a 5 by 5 square. It's a 1 5 foot square.
Yes, we can all fit in a 5x5 in a
Yeah,
5
5
foot
feet.
square. Like,
Laying
Shawnee
just-
on top of, like, I can be standing over Ari
Okay, so-
with Shawnee on top of me, the Minotaur and the Goblin
Minotaur
next
is
to
still
me.
stuck in the web.
I was about to say.
We can go bring it to the web.
So 2 things. 1, the spirit can move.
Yeah, the spirit can move.
2,
That's right,
it's
spirit.
when you enter it for the first time on your turn or start your turn in it. So
You can just pass back.
you can just pass back and forth through it.
Yeah, like, it can heal all of us.
Also, like, if you think about this table
The
would
only
only
people that- the only
occupy
people
like 2 5 foot squares.
The only people that would have to stay in it are the 2 that are unconscious.
So,
Anyway, regardless.
And I'm at full, so I don't think.
like, if everybody at this table just shifted their chairs forward through the table, we would all fit in a 5 foot square.
That's
So,
terrible.
Yeah, but
And
we're
I'm a
not-
goblin.
Yeah, but we're not centaurs.
Yeah, but the centaurs can be sat upon. The centaurs are the chair.
Only 31.
Alright, so everyone heals 31.
31 points.
There are
puts
ways
me-
to get
That puts me in full.
Yeah, think about it, because healing spirit is a funny spell like that.
Next roll was terrible.
And as you begin the healing process with 2 of your party unconscious still, even after receiving treatment, everyone will end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Everybody.
You're